most likely will be the last game at Rutgers Stadium before they undergo a multi-million-dollar expansion and renovation program. John Benestad, the junior from Boca Raton, Florida, getting set to kick off. And Ray Lucas, the redshirt freshman quarterback, will get the start for the Scarlet Knights.
John Benestad to kick off for Rutgers.
And he is exciting. Back for West Virginia, Damon Gallimore, number 5, and Garrett Ford, number 32. On the 3. This is Gallimore. Out to the 20 with running room across the 30 to the 40. Benestad got down to assist on the tackle made by Ed Walker, and suddenly West Virginia opens up with a good effort against the Rutgers kickoff team. So the quarterback for West Virginia is Darren Studstill, and the offense, it's a powerful one. Mike Compton is an All-American center up front. The running backs, Ford and Morrell. And James Jett lives up to his name. He's an Olympic sprinter who can fly. On first down, Studstill out in the flat, quickly out of bounds is number 18. That's Jay Carney, a junior from Piscataway, New Jersey. Welcome home, Jay.
Defensively, it's Beckett, Washington, and Keith Bryant at the end positions. The linebacker core is to be bolstered today. They're going to try some different things in their defense. You look at Sean Williams, Jameel Jackson, Todd Lane, and Doug Atkins coming from the strong safety position to play an outside linebacker position. Bellamy moving to free safety. Malik Johnson, the strong safety.
And here is Adrian Morrell, and he is tackled for a loss. In the backfield is Andrew Beckett and Todd Lane. And that's what Rutgers wants to do, Bob. They want to keep West Virginia out of those second and short situations.
Exactly, and here they go. They hand the ball back to the tailback, Burrell, following his fullback Ford up in front. But Beckett, the junior tight defensive end, comes in and makes the hit. Beckett came into this game with 27 solo tackles. That's number 28. He's had a good season for Rutgers.
Parisi is split to the right, double receivers to the left, Hill and Jett. Studstill. Nearly intercepted by Todd Lane. He had a chance at it, and Studstill threw into coverage. It was intended for James Jett.
Jett coming down, running a curl pattern, a controlled pattern where he's going to get a first down out of it. The ball was just thrown over his head, just a little bit high, and Rutgers is forced to punt here after a very good kickoff return by West Virginia. Got field position. That's an important series for the Rutgers defense to turn them back and get the ball back for their offense.
Todd Sauerbrunn is the West Virginia punter. He's a good one. He leads the Big East with 44.5 yards a punt. Marshall Roberts fakes the fair catch, and fortunately the ball bouncing into the end zone as it sort of died on the 2-yard line. A 46-yard punt for Todd Sauerbrunn. So the emotion was there for the Rutgers defense, Bob, that we talked about. And now it falls to redshirt freshman Ray Lucas as the offense gets set to take the field. We'll take a break and return to Rutgers Stadium in just a moment. 14-17 overall. He said this is the best team we've played here in Piscataway in his tenure, the West Virginia Mountaineers. And Ray Lucas, the redshirt freshman from Harrison, with triple receivers in the game for Rutgers. Here's Bruce Presley making the first start of his Rutgers career. And he goes into the middle of the line, tackled by Wes Richardson. Checking the Rutgers offense. Up front, Travis Broadbent at center. It's been shuffled. Joe Schifoni's mother passed away during the week, so Schifoni's out of the lineup today. Bailey and Presley are the running backs. Greg Mitter out with an ankle. And at the receiver spots, Chris Stoll gets a start at tight end, but Garantano and Brantley have been equally dangerous, and suddenly we see a shaken up player. It's Maurice Owens, the senior from Scotch Plains. And that's an unfortunate situation because Bob Rutgers came into the game with Ken Damon out, and of course Schifoni at home due to the loss of his mother.
They've had to juggle their offensive line. They've had injuries in the offensive line all year. We know that a guy like Travis Broadbent has been playing injured with a knee, just playing on sheer guts. It'd be very important that Maurice Owens be able to come back in this ballgame. One, because he's experienced, and two, because he gives them the size up front that they need to go against somebody the caliber of the West Virginia defensive line.
The senior right guard, Maurice Owens, He's been an interchangeable part of that Rutgers offensive line this year. Second down for the Scarlet Knights. Presley, the lonely running back. Double tight end formation. Here's Lucas off play action. Incomplete, intended for Marco Battaglia. He was wide open and he dropped it.
A little bootleg action off of a strong play fake to the tailback. Presley gets Ray Lucas on the corner, and they just slide that tight end into the flat. He was open one of the few times Battaglia dropped the ball. You're looking at a good defensive set here. Briggs is outstanding at defensive end. Rick Dolly, the big tackle. You'll hear his name often today in the linebacker corps, led by Tafoni and Tim Brown. And strong linebacker is Puffy Wright. And in the secondary, Mike Collins, a strong safety. Outstanding athlete.
Well, Rutgers now facing a 3rd and 10. The ball just across their 20-yard line. Avina is split to the left. Garantano to the right, and Brantley goes in motion. And a whistle blows, and I think it's going to be too much time. No, Rutgers may have called timeout just as the clock was about to expire. Yes, they have.
They called timeout because they did not have the set they wanted. Avina, number 19, looked right at the official, said timeout. That's an early timeout in this ballgame, but they sure didn't want to get in the wrong offensive set deep in their territory, 3rd and 10.
When the Lady Knights play host to Loyola, coached by...
Well, it's good to see on ideal conditions for football. A cold November Saturday, sun shining, good crowd across the way.
And they're still rolling in. They're still coming in.
Fashionably late.
Very successful coach right there, Don Nealon of West Virginia.
Don Nealon, 11-1 versus Rutgers, the winningest coach in West Virginia history. And Doug Graber had a lot of experience coaching against Nealon when Nealon was at Bowling Green, and then an assistant on the University of Michigan staff. Okay, here we go. 3rd and a long 9. Brantley in motion. Avina to the left. Garantano to the top of the screen. Out of the shotgun. Ray Lucas takes off. Ray Lucas very close to the first down, but he did not get there. Short by less than a yard. Tim Brown, number 56, made the tackle from his inside linebacker spot.
He's short by about a half a yard, but this is the dimension Lucas gives to the offense. Here he drops back, things are covered, 4-man rush. He gets up in the front of that rush and then makes his move. And right here you'll see Tim Brown coming from his linebacker core, number 56, to make the hit just short of a first down, and Rutgers is forced to punt.
So John Benestad, David Dunn back to punt on his own 15-yard line. James Jett, number 15, will have a chance to field this line drive at the 32-yard line, and Jett will turn it to the left. And Jett brought down Jay Bellamy, one of the Rutgers players on the tackle, along with Mark Washington. A 39-yard punt for David Dunn and a negative 2-yard return for James Jett.
Jett was trying to use his track speed that time to get on the corner, but Rutgers, this was the kind of kick you like to return, a low kick to a fast guy like Jett. But look at the coverage. Watch the red jerseys coming down here that set up and never give Jett, with his speed, to get on the corner. Because of that, the pursuit from inside out makes the hit.
They'll take over on their 30-yard line out of the I formation. Adrian Morrell, the right side, down to the 35-yard line before Andrew Beckett makes the tackle. And that's what West Virginia likes to do, Bob. They like to run out of the I formation. They feature Morrell, who came into the game over 1,000 yards for the season.
This is a stretch play. Watch the quarterback reach far to get the ball to the tailback, and he stretches that line of scrimmage, following his fullback up off tackle. And Morrell that time looked up and picked up 4 yards.
Adrian Morrell, they call him the Hawaiian Punch, the senior tailback. Double receivers to the left. Stud still. Complete again to Jay Carney. And Carney gets out of bounds and picks up a Mountaineer first down at the 41-yard line. Doug Atkins was on the coverage, and Atkins has a special role to play, and he's taken over the outside linebacker spot of Bob Sneathen.
Did that very effectively against Army, against the Wishbone. They brought Atkins in and made him an outside linebacker. With his quickness and his sure tackling ability, he's an asset to have there. So they're going to take their chance, especially on the early downs, to get Atkins into the run game, try to force the running game, come up with some losses.
Ed Hill goes in motion. They'll hand off to the fullback, and it's a big hole for Jim Freeman into Rutgers territory. down to the 45-yard line, a 12-yard gain before Marshall Roberts and Malik Jackson combined. Jim Freeman getting his start as Rodney Woodard, the sophomore, who had 135 yards last week, suffered an ankle injury.
You can't forget about the fullback. Little dive play. Really, it's a trap play, and he breaks it away from the hole on his own. He sees the opening. He runs to the soft area to the defense and picks up big yardage.
1st and 10 from the Rutgers 46. I formation. Studstill rolls right. He can pull it down and run, and he will. It's Studstill. Close to a first down, about a yard short. Sean Williams, the senior linebacker from Burlington, New Jersey, made the stop for Rutgers.
Studstill, again, like Ray Lucas, gives you that running dimension that you've got to be ready for. So he comes off of a play action pass, sees an opening where he can maybe make the first down, picks up enough yardage to come up just 2nd down and less than a yard to go. Studstill is a fine athlete. Riviera Beach, Florida, he comes in, carries the ball 33 times coming in this game, averaging over 6 yards per carry.
Bob, 2nd and 1, a good chance to try something against this Rutgers off defense here as Studstill goes back. They throw it out in the flat. It's incomplete, and a flag flies from out in the flat. The pass was intended for the fullback, Jim Freeman.
We may get some interference calls here. That time they tried to slip the fullback out in the flat. It was a little bit overthrown by Studstill, but the question is, was there interference call on the wide receiver or the defender? In this case, let's see as they have a conference on the 35-yard line.
Sean Williams was making his point that the ball was tipped, which would nullify any type of interference. Here's Terry Monk.
No flag.
And apparently Sean Williams made a very strong point because they'll pick up the flag. So it's still 2nd down, 3rd down now, and a short 1 yard to go for the Mountaineers. And they bring in Nat Ryan, number 87, at tight end.
West Virginia's got a lot of weapons in their arsenal. The running backs, the quarterback, the receiving core, the size in the offensive line. And Doug Graber knows he's got to get a great effort out of his defense today to be in this ball game.
Here's the handoff. Freeman, 1st down, Mountaineers. Jim Freeman, a sophomore from Lima, Ohio. He had a 1-yard touchdown run against Rutgers last year. And that's pretty good production from the fullback spot for a 2nd-string fullback, not averaging 4.5 yards a carry.
Rutgers alternating in the middle of the line with the injuries, particularly to Spitzer at nose tackle. They've had to play Ibrahim Washington a lot. Now we notice that Kareem Williams is alternating. Washington's back in the game on the run situations because of his quickness.
Hill and Jett are split to the left. From the I formation, Freeman and Morrell. Studstill this time will roll left. Throws it out in the flat, complete to Ed Hill. And Ed Hill gets another Mountaineer first down. Tim Geckler, part of the Rutgers nickel package, makes the tackle, but the Mountaineers are moving.
Hill's a junior out of Cincinnati, Ohio, at 6'4", 190. They have good receivers with good size, and you see the stats there. 5 TDs. He's actually the leading receiver on this team. But at 6'5", at 6'4", he's quite a target. What we see early in this ball game from West Virginia from an offensive side is the fact that they're giving you a lot of play action on the early down and coming out, throwing the football, catching Rutgers in zone coverage. Those wide receivers are open.
Studstill pitches out to Morrell. It's a wild pitch. And Ibrahim Washington was there for the Scarlet Knights. He had it diagnosed. Morrell was never able to gain control from the pitch of Darren Studstill.
Remember, they like to run the option, particularly with Studstill at quarterbacks. There's a little dive option here. He fakes to the fullback going in, number 29, Freeman, and pitches right on the corner, but it's behind 42, Morrell. He's fortunate he kicked the ball out of bounds. That could have been a fumble. Rutgers could have had possession, but they kept the possession. They lost yardage. We're looking at 2nd and 12.
We're looking at the Scarlet Knight mascot. And 2nd down. 12 yards to go. James Jett to the right. Handoff, Morrell. Morrell up behind the block of center Mike Compton. And it's Todd Lane, a senior from Willingboro, New Jersey, playing in his last game for the Scarlet Knights, making the play.
What West Virginia does is they bring their tight end up on the line of scrimmage. This case it's number 87, Nate Ryan. And then just before the snap, they shift him across the formation, so they change the strength of the formation. They caught Rutgers that time, shifting their defensive players running around. They've got to adjust to that. And then they slip the ball to Morrell, and he's just so quick. As you look up, he's picked up about 6 yards.
Third down, 6 yards to go for the first down. I formation with 3 receivers in. Option, stud still to Morrell. And Morrell has the first, no, he's short of the first down. Knocked out of bounds at the 16-yard line as Rutgers went to the wide side of the field. Marshall Roberts made the play.
Very big play by Roberts. This is the option again, a counter option. He reverses out here, comes back down the line, follows his left guard, Lorenzo Stiles, puts the ball on the corner. Now watch 22. There's the pursuit by number 10, Atkins. Great job by Roberts. Pushes him out of bounds. Rutgers now forcing West Virginia to go for the field goal.
Mike Vanderjag on to attempt a field goal, a 34-yard attempt out of the hold of Mark Johnson. Tough snap handled by Johnson. It's up and it's good. So Mike Vanderjag now 10 of 14 in field goal tries this year. He was the Big East Special Teams Player of the Week last week. With 9:02 to play here in the first quarter, the Mountaineers settle for 3. They lead Rutgers, and we'll be right back. 3-0 with 9:02 left in the first quarter. I'm Pat Scanlon along with Bob Cassiola and Mike Mayon.
I'll tell you, Pat, West Virginia's had the ball in good field position early in this ball game, and I think you got to feel fortunate that they only have 3 points. The Rutgers defense has come up with 2 big plays on third down crucials.
Sauerbrun's kickoff attempt fielded on the 6 by Bruce Presley. And Presley gets out to the 25-yard line. Jason Timmerman makes the play.
You look at these 2 teams coming into this ball game, you see some real strengths. You see West Virginia, their scoring ability, not bad compared to Rutgers. They're close. Yards rushing, better yards rushing. They've got a great running attack. Yards passing, of course, Rutgers is dependent on that most of the year with Forte and Ray Lucas. Their average yards per play are pretty close, and third down percentages are a big difference, almost 40% for West Virginia. So they are a very potent offensive football team.
Rutgers continues to operate with 3 receivers, Presley at running back. And Lucas will hand off to Presley, and Presley powers down to the 29-yard line, running into Tim Brown, the leading tackler for this West Virginia team. And for Bruce Presley, this is his first start of his career. Presley saw some action last year, then injured a neck at Duke and redshirted the freshman year, so he's back again, still with freshman eligibility. And what a plus for this Rutgers offense. They'll deploy Avina and Garantano to the left. Chris Brantley to the top of the screen. Now Avina in motion. And Lucas off play action. First down Rutgers, Chris Brantley at the 42-yard line. And Lucas delivered a line drive to Brantley.
As long as you give Lucas the time and he stayed in that pocket, and that's what has happened to him. This young redshirt freshman out of Harrison, New Jersey, he waited for Brantley to come open in the middle. Rutgers spreading the field, 3 receivers stretching that defensive perimeter, and he steps right up. Good drop by him and a good delivery. He can throw the ball. We know that. He's got a strong arm. Brantley knows where he is and finds those sticks to get a first down.
A 14-yard pass, Lucas to Brantley. Eddie Walker is in the ball game, split to the right. Quick drop, Lucas forced outside, looking for Avina, and he overthrew him. Lance Avina down along the left sidelines. Mike Collins, number 25, said hello after the ball went by, just to make sure for next play.
Mike Collins says hello to a lot of people. He comes into this game with 44 solo tackles. He's a toughie from out of Huntington, West Virginia, and he's going to be heard from today because he puts his hands on the football a lot. 19 broken up passes, 2 interceptions, very active player. They've got some athletes in that secondary led by Mike Collins out of the strong safety position.
And now TK Dorsey is in as Rutgers will operate with 2 running backs. And now Walker goes in motion. So Dorsey, who plays the H-back for the Scarlet Knights. And here's Bruce Presley. Bruce Presley, first down and more. Down to the Mountaineer 40-yard line. 18 yards on the ground before David Mayfield brings down Presley.
That's the way to mix up your offense. Give it to Stan Parrish, the offensive coordinator. 2nd down and 9. Passing down. They elect to go with the run here. And he runs up behind, pulling a number. And he gets a great block by TK Dorsey, who lined up by the tight end almost as a wing, came in and made the block in the middle for him. And you know Presley's got a burst when he hits that line of scrimmage. Big gain.
Presley came in averaging 5.9 yards a carry. He'll carry again for the Scarlet Knights here. And Presley waiting for the blocks. Now gets on the corner. Eddie Walker with a big block downfield. And Bruce Presley is down to the 11-yard line. 29 yards for the redshirt freshman.
Big
And
play.
it's a flag, excuse me, Bob, back up the right flat, the line of scrimmage.
Here's the run as we see it, just a toss behind T.K. Dorsey running to the left side. Unfortunately, this is going to be called back because Rutgers had illegal motion here, but it's a great run by Presley, and it shows what this redshirt freshman can do. Look at the block downfield from number 11, Eddie Walker. But all because of a movement on the line of scrimmage. We'll call the play back. Tough break for Rutgers. Offensively, they had it done.
Here's the line was not against the offense. 5-yard penalty is still first down.
There's the call from referee Terry Monk. And so the Scarlet Knights, instead of 1st and 10 from the 11, find themselves 1st and 15 from the 45-yard line. Garantano deployed to the right, Brantley to the left. Bailey and Presley are the running backs. Lucas rolling right, complete. Jim Garantano. A 17-yard pickup by Garantano, who leads the Big East in receptions, 5.1 per game.
Watch Garantano concentrate on his football, and this is a great throw. Again, play action, bootleg. He comes on the corner. He sees Garantano on the sideline, come back to the football. There he is, right in the middle. He's finally hit by the 3 safety, number 30, David Mayfield, but not before he gets another first down. You got to look to your veterans. In a game like this, you got to come to the guys that have delivered for you all year. Surely Garantano is one of them.
And Garantano has attracted a lot of double coverage of late, and Brantley has had more receptions. It's good to see Garantano active as Presley bounces off the would-be tackle of Wes Richardson and is brought down after a gain of just 1 yard line. Don Nealon, who's won 7 straight games against Rutgers, was here in 1980, 12 years ago, the last time the Mountaineers played at Rutgers Stadium. Impressive career numbers, 91, 54, and 4. Not much has changed at Rutgers Stadium in 12 years.
Well, it will change. We know there's some great things going to happen over the next couple of years that are going to be very exciting for this program.
Brantley goes in motion. Well pitch to Presley with T.K. Dorsey blocking on the corner, and Presley makes something out of nothing. He fought to get back to the line of scrimmage and maybe pick up a yard.
Very tough to run on the outside against West Virginia. Number 93, Tom Briggs, defensive end, very active. He really is an active kid out of Liverpool, New York. That time on the corner, he came up and made the initial hit, never gave Presley a chance to make the cut. So Rutgers now in a 3rd down and long situation, but the ball is deep in West Virginia territory. Very important to keep the drive alive and hopefully come away with some points.
Rutgers goes with Avina, Garantano, and Brantley at the receiver spots. Ray Lucas from the shotgun. Lucas flushed. Gets it away downfield, incomplete. Marco Battaglia was working his way back for the ball. Bruce Presley was in the vicinity as well, and Rutgers now will send John Benestead onto the field to attempt a field goal try.
Number 67, that's Scott Gaskins, the junior at 6'2", 264, who was chasing down Presley. Lots of quickness in that defensive line for West Virginia. Flushed the quarterback, Lucas, that time, out of the shotgun, forced him to go to his left and try and throw it on the run. Good coverage, good stand there by the defense, and now Rutgers is trying here to get back in this ballgame with a field goal.
John Benestead attempting a 46-yard field goal out of the hold of Jim Garantano. And it's bad. It's a bad kick. That never got more than 10 yards off the ground. So Rutgers sees its drive end.
It's a slip, but it's bad execution. As we watch this, I think he rushes this. There's the ball. He puts it down. He's already started, and he slips right here as he plants that left foot. See it go out from under him. He never really had a chance. Because of that, they never got the points. They turned the ball over to West Virginia on their own 28-yard line.
That drive, 8 plays, 4 minutes, 4 runs, 4 passes, so it needs some clock up. Keeps that Mountaineer offense off the field, but now with 5 minutes left in the first quarter, West Virginia takes over, operating from the I formation. And here's Adrian Morrell on the left side. Bob, they do test the corners with Morrell on a consistent basis.
But he's also looking to cut it back, Pat. He's got great quickness. Here he is, a senior, 6 foot, 200 pounds. And they like to work him, let him get on the corner. He has a great change of pace. Sometimes he gets out there real quick, full speed. Other times he'll wait for things to happen and he can accelerate. He's a fine football player. Great background in this ball game. A lot of yardage, 190 carries, over 1,000 yards rushing.
Only 5 Mountaineer offensive players have ever gone over the 1,000-yard mark in rushing. One of them a quarterback, Major Harris. Morrell is one of those 5. And here's Morrell on the left side, tackled by Jameel Jackson at the 35-yard line. Jameel Jackson has been a consistent performer for the Scarlet Knights. And Todd Lane is shaken up back at the line of scrimmage. Todd Lane, cousin to Carl Hairston, playing in his last home game.
He's a guy who's really developed as a player here, played a lot of football throughout his career, really has had a tough senior season with injuries that have kept him in and out of games, but he's always come back, and he's done a great job for Rutgers as a senior. He's the kind of guy that develops in the program, as you see.
3rd down, 3 yards to go. Here's John Jones, and he stopped short of the first down. John Jones, number 33, brought down by Keith Rice. And that'll bring the Mountaineer punt team on.
Great effort by the defense again. In a crucial situation, they stop the big gun. Morrell for short yardage here as you see him hand back to him. He's looking to follow his fullback, 29, Freeman. He decides to break it outside. Big play there by the guy who just came into the ball game, Beto. And Stewart, the linebackers.
Sauer runs punt, fielded on the 27-yard line by Marshall Roberts. And Roberts gets back to the 33-yard line. So Rutgers, it's 3 and out for the Mountaineers. A 38-yard punt, a 5-yard return.
Again, we talked earlier about what the Rutgers defense had to do. They had to play a great football game to stay in this ball game against a very versatile offense of West Virginia. They've done it thus far, holding them to 3 points and getting the ball back to their offense in pretty good field position.
Marco Battaglia is in at tight end. Look at Todd Lane on the sidelines. Here's Chris Brantley in motion. And off to Presley on the left side, and Bruce Presley picks up 4 on first down. Wes Richardson made the stop along with Rick Dolly, a second-year starter out of New Creek, West Virginia.
Well, he's a big one, 6'4", 250. He's a tough guy to get off that line of scrimmage. 38 solo tackles of his own coming into this ball game. So they've got a lot of active people on defense, and also they've got people with size.
You talk about the size at their defensive ends. Boris Graham from Pemberton is a 6'2", 230, and Briggs 6'5", 230. And they're fast enough to be almost be strong safeties. The way they play in the style of defense is Lucas sees something he doesn't like, and Rutgers has to spend its second time out of the first half with 3:12 left in the first quarter.
And that's the price you pay when you start a freshman. You got to know that inexperience comes to play here, but he made the right call. He did not want to make a mistake, and he decided to call timeout, make sure he got the right formation. As you look up to the Rutgers press box where their coaches are, right in the middle is Stan Parrish, the guy who's orchestrating the entire call.
Stan Parrish, the offensive coordinator, and he had said that this was not the game to hold anything back. That talented, physical West Virginia defense, Rutgers had to use the whole playbook today, and that's what we expect. Ray Lucas making his first start since the Penn State game. Scored a 7-yard touchdown run against Army for his first rushing touchdown of his Scarlet Knight career. 40 of 65 coming into the game, better than 61%. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 538 yards. So it will be 2nd and 6 for Rutgers as Brantley comes in motion. Lucas rolling. Avina completed the 50. Lance Avina down inside the 40-yard line to the 38. Wes Richardson brought down the man from Berwick, Pennsylvania after a 24-yard gain.
Again, counter action, bootleg action. He comes off this play fake. He's really looking for his tight end, Battaglia. Battaglia is covered short. He sees Avina coming across the formation from the slot on the backside, and he finds him open in the seam. Tough to cover that guy. Usually has to be done by linebackers. The junior from Berwick picks up a first down for Rutgers. Big play.
Lance Avina was a wide receiver for West Virginia quarterback Jake Kelchner. Here's Presley. No gain. In fact, dropped for a loss of 1. Wes Richardson, number 41, a junior from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. A very active inside linebacker for the Mountaineers.
At 6'2", 229, he's got size, and he is active. Richardson, Tim Brown, Matt Toffoni, they've got a bevy of linebackers, all with size and speed. And they'll contain that running game, but you got to keep going at it to keep them honest, to open up things in the passing game, and that's what Rutgers has attempted to do here in the first quarter.
It's a double tight end formation with Battaglia and Stoll. Lucas rolling right, looking for Battaglia, who turned downfield, but Lucas did the wise thing in throwing the ball away.
Yes, he did. He was coming back looking for Battaglia right away. Battaglia was open early, but he couldn't get himself set to throw it, so he put it out of bounds. He kept this drive alive. No turnovers in this kind of position. Rutgers now again looking at a 3rd and 12.
Ray Lucas so far at 3 of 7 for 55 yards.
This formation plays listed concert with his offensive.
Triple receivers to the right. Walker. Lucas with time. Complete to Brantley. Brantley was the short option on the play. He steps out at the 33-yard line. So about now does Doug Graber go for it?
Interesting point. Exactly. You brought it up. Does Doug Graber decide to go for get back in his ball game with a field goal? And it looks like he's elected to go for it because he's bringing Lance Avina, the wide receiver, back into the game with the play.
So here we go. 4th and 4. Ball on the Mountaineer 32-yard line. Triple receivers to the left. Avina, Brantley, and Garantano. Lucas will roll in that direction. Complete. Jimmy Garantano to the 5. Touchdown, Rutgers. 32 yards.
Well, that's what you needed. Early in this ball game, they come up with 3 receivers to one side. They flood the zone, and he finds the guy who's done it for him day in and day out throughout his career. A great effort by number 1 right there, the quarterback Lucas. A great effort in getting open and getting in the end zone by Garantano, the senior record-setting receiver for Rutgers.
Jimmy Garantano, the 11th touchdown reception of his Rutgers career, closing in on Bob Sims, who holds the record with 13. John Benestad splits the uprights. And so with 1:56 left in the first quarter, freshman Ray Lucas hooks up with senior Jim Garantano, and they love it here at Rutgers Stadium.
Here's the play. We've got 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen, and also number 44, that's the tailback Bresley, in a position to block on the corner or release. He comes out, gets his shoulders around. Garantano squares up to the football off the curl. When he turns back inside, he is wide open. Good block downfield by number 12, Brantley. Gives him a chance to get back in the end zone. And we'll look at it again from behind the defense here. Great camera work. As we see him come out here, he delivers the ball. Here he comes back to the football. Number 31. From the secondary, Aaron Beasley comes up, misses the tackle, and Garantano steps into the end zone. High steps, too.
Well, he knows what to do when he gets there. And for Ray Lucas, his 4th touchdown pass of the year. So the Knights leading the Mountaineers 7-3 here in the first quarter.
We said coming into this ball game how to get a great defensive effort, both sides of the football. Defensively, they had to play over their heads because we know West Virginia has a lot of talent. Offensively, they're going to try everything. Open up the offense And they open it up right away by putting Lucas at quarterback. I think that was a big decision, Pat.
They needed the consistency from the quarterback spot as Benestad kicks off. A flag flies. I think Rutgers was offside. This is Damon Gallimore. And Gallimore gets back to the 25, kicking down at the 29-yard line. And Gallimore came into the game averaging 24 yards a kick return. Julius Blackwell brought him down, but we're going to wait the penalty back around the 40-yard line. As you look at junior Darren Studstill. Rutgers called for offsides. Let's check the scoring summary. 6 plays, 67 yards, taking under 2 minutes. It was Jim Garantano, a 32-yard touchdown pass from Ray Lucas.
Offside, kicking team on the kickoff. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
That's the enthusiasm that goes. They just scored a touchdown. The specialty team wants to get down there, and unfortunately they jumped off sides. They're going to give West Virginia a chance to get this kick back and get better field position. Coming into this ball game, Don Nehlen knew that he had a great record over Rutgers, that they really had a handle on this game, but he's also was wary, and his comments were, I have no reason to tell you why we were so successful against Rutgers in the past. He says we've just played them well, but you could sense that he knew, and he said it, Rutgers is a far better football team than most people give them credit for.
You know, that touchdown scored by Rutgers was their first against the Mountaineers in the last 3 games. West Virginia had won the previous 2 meetings against Doug Graber and his staff by identical 28-3 scores. So that was one of the goals. Stan Parrish said, we need a touchdown first of all before we do anything, because we haven't put it in the end zone against Nellen.
Well,
John Benestad will have to now kick off from his 30-yard line. Gallimore and Garrett Ford back for the Mountaineers. And it's Gallimore on the 6. Damian Gallimore has a lane. Flag flies back around the 35. So is Gallimore as he's tripped up on the return by Tim Geckler. And Terry Monk has another call to decipher.
it's going to go against the receiving team this time. You're going to get a legal block, and it's going to be a big plus for Rutgers. After coming away with having to kick it again, they're going to come up with better field position.
So that will back him up as they look at the spot of the infraction out around the 40 or 37-yard line. Here's another look as Gallimore makes the return.
Well, the flag is thrown up on the 35-yard line, and so they're going to march this thing back and put it back inside the right about on the 32-yard line. Much better field position as far as Rutgers is concerned from a defensive standpoint. As you look at Don Nehlen, thus far in this game, he's used the offense on the early downs to come up with a lot of play-action pass, get the ball to his wide receivers. Rutgers give him a lot of zone coverage, laying off those wide receivers.
Freeman and Morrell from I formation. Studstill back to pass, throws it out in the flat. Adrian Morrell, and a blow delivered by Marshall Roberts.
He was the secondary receiver that time, Pat. He was looking for his wide receiver who was coming across the middle, picked up by the Rutgers linebacker. That time, Morrell slipped out in the flat and got him the football. All the West Virginia backs can catch the ball. They're all part of this offense. They like to put him in the flat, put him in the middle of the field, sometimes releasing him out of the backfield. So you got to defend against a lot of potential receivers with this club.
James Jett split wide to the left. Ed Hill in motion. They'll hand off to Jim Freeman, the fullback. Gets across the 40 and down to the 45-yard line. First down, West Virginia. Free safety Jay Bellamy makes the stop. Wow, there's a change for the Scarlet Knights. They had moved Bellamy to strong safety and Malik Jackson to free safety earlier, but this week Doug Graber said, well, it hasn't been working. He took the blame for it. He said, you know, it just hasn't worked out. Malik Jackson's back at strong safety and Jay Bellamy at the free spot.
Both very comfortable in those positions. That's where they like to play the strong safety, much more of a tackler. The free safety, of course, the defender.
Studstill rolling left, complete at the 50-yard line. Ed Hill, the junior from Cincinnati. Don't forget, coming up at the conclusion of our first quarter is an NJN extra point as we take an extra look at the analysis and strategy of the first quarter. That's coming up between quarters 1 and 2.
West Virginia has picked up on the fact that Rutgers is stacking their defense. They're really loading up on the first down plays for the run, and that's why they're throwing the ball in the early down to the wide receivers.
And it's Jet and Hill to the right. Studstill looking that direction. Downfield, James Jett, incomplete. And Rutgers expected that play because James Jett is an Olympic sprinter. He has a gold medal from Barcelona in the 4x100 meter relay, 7 times an NCAA All-American sprinter.
Well, you know they're going to try that. They're going to test you deep. If it's open, they're going to get a score out of it. If they don't, they make everybody in that secondary for Rutgers wary of James Jett. You come up and throw something in front of him. But this is a good action pass by Studstill. Jett had a step on Bellamy, but the pass was overthrown.
Studstill 5 of 8 for 37 yards, and he shows that he can throw it. Studstill now chased out of bounds. Doug Atkins from the outside linebacker spot in pursuit of Studstill and knocks him out of bounds along with George Stewart. Good to see number 56 back in the lineup for the Scarlet Knights.
Great job defensively, and especially that's a coverage play by the secondary for Rutgers. Nobody was open. You're looking at number 56 Stewart, but the play was in the secondary. He had to run the football, and Atkins, great hustle coming from the defensive end position, flagged him down, out of bounds, and they're forced to punt. Another effort, again, by the defense for Rutgers.
Sauerbrunn airs it out. He's averaged 42 yards a punt as Roberts fields on the 11. Marshall Roberts has nowhere to go. While we have a chance, let's go down on the sidelines to Mike Mayock.
Thanks, Patrick. The injuries continue to mount for the Rutgers defense here. Todd Lane dislocated his left kneecap, and he's gone for the game. On the offensive side of the ball, number 75, Maurice Owens, hurt his right knee, but they braced it up, taped it for some additional support, and he should be back in this series.
Okay, Mike. Don Kessler and his training crew have been busy all year.
Tough loss, though, to lose Lane early in the ball game. He's a veteran. He's a senior. We're going to need him down the road here.
13 seconds left in the first quarter. Mario Henry is split to the left. They'll keep it on the ground to Presley. Bruce Presley. 9 yards on first down. That's how you want to do it.
Good job that time, running Presley up inside behind Travis Broadbent and Chris Kennedy and Kavulich, and got the yardage and got the first, very close to a first down.
Ray Lucas likes it at the end of one. Rutgers leading West Virginia 7-3. Back with an NJN extra point right after this. Cassiola and Mike Mayock. Rutgers leading 7-3. They'll hand off straight ahead to H-back TK Dorsey, who picks up the first down, and the senior from Somerset out of Immaculata High School, back from an ankle injury, and picks up first down yardage.
Well, you look at an offensive line that's doing a fine job here early in this ball game for Rutgers, and it's a patched up offensive line because you've got Kavulich playing at one guard position. You've got Ortiz playing at another offensive guard position, normally a tackle. Scott Vaughn's in the ball game, along with number 66 for Rutgers, and that is Keith Donovan at left tackle.
Lucas rolling right. Throws it. It's complete. Chris Stoll at the 43-yard line. Another first down. Rutgers off a 16-yard reception. Chris Stoll, the junior from Absecon, New Jersey.
He's really working on the linebackers. Whenever you hit your tight ends, they're coming underneath. Watch on the left side of the screen, you'll see 88 come up. In his face, there's 88 Stoll coming across the formation from the left side. The linebackers have to look up those tight ends and cover. If they don't, they're open all day. So far, those inside receivers on the curls, the tight ends crossing, are open for Lucas.
Just the third reception of the year for Chris Stoll. Rutgers will take the first down. Here comes the fake reverse to Brantley. Lucas keeps. Ray Lucas with the ball. Down to the 48-yard line. Tommy Orr made the tackle, a junior from Elizabeth, New Jersey, but Lucas had it all to himself.
This sort of stuff really drives your defense crazy. He's faking the reverse here. You see number 12 come across the formation, Brantley. He looks at him. That's good. Lets the defense look it up. Now he really wants to throw the football here. The receivers are covered, so he's improvising. And when you're 6'4" or 6'3" in Ray Lucas's case, he runs as quickly and can move as well as he, you pick up yardage.
And he picked up 5. Now Brantley in motion. Presley, left side, about a yard short of the first down. Number 4, Puppy Wright, a sophomore from Miami, Florida, who is all Miami and all state.
Well, he's grown from being a puppy. I want to tell you, look at his size, 6'2", 212, active, only a sophomore, plays that outside linebacker position, and he is very good. As you're looking at Puppy Wright, he made the hit, but not enough. First down for Rutgers, and they got the drive going.
They're in Mountaineer territory at the 47-yard line.
And the balance in the offense is what's working now. The combination of the passing, running game, keeping the West Virginia defense a little bit off guard is working.
There's Bruce Presley as they stretch to the right side. Presley, he ran over Mike Collins and picked up 2 or 3 more yards. Bruce Presley at 5'10", 205 pounds.
That's beautiful to see. As a running back, he just lowered, and here came Collins, the headhunter from the strong safety position to try and make the hit, and he gave him a shoulder pad and ran through him for another couple of yards. Presley, remember, the thing that's exciting about him, he's only a redshirt freshman from over here in Highland Park, New Jersey.
And now, Rutgers facing 2nd and 3. Battaglia in motion. They set up the screen to Presley. Lucas finds him, and Bruce Presley breaks a tackle. First down and more down the left sidelines, the 15-yard line. Bruce Presley, and a flag flies as there was a hit out of bounds after the play, but a 27-yard gain for Presley. It was Bruce Presley who ripped off a huge screen pass for a touchdown against Cincinnati last week that went 84 yards.
Well executed. 2nd down and short. They come up. They let everybody descend on the quarterback. He handles it perfectly, drops the ball off to Presley, and he runs down that side. I guess the first down, he steps out. He's hit by West Virginia, and there's the call. A personal foul, and Rutgers gets even better position. Good execution. Again, they're mixing their plays beautifully. Watch this. He drops back. He drops again. He lets those white shirts come in on him and just dumps the ball off to Presley. He's got the blockers in front of him. 61 Kavulich leading him downfield along with Broadbent and also Ortiz, and he gets inside the 20-yard line. Here he steps out, and there's the hit. Close. There's the hit. They called it.
Mike Collins, number 25.
He's getting back from running over him the play before.
Right.
That's what that's all about.
He got him back, but it cost his team as Rutgers goes now. First down and goal to go. The ball just inside the 10-yard line. T.K. Dorsey and Bill Bailey are the running backs for the Scarlet Knights. Brantley to the right, Garantano to the top of the screen. Here's the pitch to Bill Bailey. Bailey cuts it inside, picks up a couple, and more flags on the play. Kwame Smith, number 23, a senior from Miami, made the tackle, and Terry Monk will make the call. Preliminary call holding against Rutgers, so Rutgers will back up.
Back up. We call Bill Bailey's name that time at the tailback position in for Presley, who's getting most of the go today because of the injury to Craig Mitter. Bailey, of course, is a versatile player. He's played at fullback for him in the single back, the junior out of West Milford. A good, dependable player a year ago. He was their offense.
Bill Bailey 2 seasons ago was the leading rusher for the Scarlet Knights. Walked on to the Rutgers program. Now Rutgers will go with 4 receivers, triple receivers deployed to the left. Lucas on the quarterback draw. Run out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
That was a set call, Pat. I really think that was quarterback draw all the way. Last time he came up in that formation, he threw to Garantano for a touchdown. This time he sets it up, looking to draw inside. As he gets up inside, the big defense for West Virginia adjusts. And you see number 1, Leroy Axum, a senior, who comes in as the 5th defensive back many times, come up and make the play. He's another one of those versatile players they bring in at cornerback or bring him in as an extra back.
They pick up 4 yards on the play. Henry, Brantley, and Garantano are split to the left. Presley's back in at running back. Lucas looking for Garantano, who curls back to the ball and is very, very close to a first down. Leroy Axum, a senior from Miami, Florida, and Barry Hawkins combined to bring Garantano down.
This is a great effort again. This is the same play he ran before for a touchdown, but when he looks to cut back, there's a few more white jerseys. But he has a nose for where those sticks are. Now watch him try and get upfield and get that extra yard.
Too close to call as they bring the chains onto the field. Jimmy Garantano comes up about 6 to 8 inches short. And so it will be that third down and a short one to go. Garantano, who set a single season record for receptions with 62 as a junior, came in with over 1,900 yards on 148 receptions for the Scarlet Knights.
And the thing that's amazing about him, he doesn't have great speed, but he's got great moves, he's got great concentration, terrific hands, and he's only 5'9", 172 pounds.
Double tight end for the Scarlet Knights. Dorsey and Presley, the running backs, but Ray Lucas will keep and move the chains. First and goal for the Scarlet Knights. Bob, the other thing that has been impressive about this Rutgers defense is that, or offense, is that the defense has been able to sit and watch them work the chains and move the clock. And you've got to keep this Rutgers defense fresh because, let's face it, they're battered, they're bruised, they're down to second and sometimes third string players.
Well, you know, we know that, and that's exactly what Doug Graber and his staff had to get themselves ready for after coming off a very difficult weekend at Cincinnati. That was a demoralizing defeat for them. But to get them back and get them ready to play the way they've played so far in this first half is really something that's a tribute to all of them, and particularly to these players, because they've come in here thinking they can win this ball game, and right now they're playing right to it, offensively and defensively.
11th play of the drive. It's a pitch to Presley. Bruce Presley stopped at the line of scrimmage, and you can hear that all the way up here. Tom Briggs and Kwame Smith combining on the tackle. Look at Briggs as you see him, 6'5", 230 pounds, a senior from Liverpool, Pennsylvania.
Well, it's very hard, as we said, to get outside against this team. You've got to get on the corner quick. As you see the pulling, number 74 pulling there is Ortiz, but they just can't outflank these guys. Great pursuit, and Briggs is just too big and strong to try and get outside against that, and he made a big play for him.
Triple receivers for Rutgers. Deployed to the wide side of the field. Lucas looking that way, overthrew Chris Brantley. Excellent coverage by number 1, Leroy Axum.
Again, 5 defenders in the game, all playing man for man. That time they were covered man for man. If you get man for man coverage, you got to cross your receivers or pick them in some way and try and get to the open man, or your tight end becomes effective. And here's a third down situation. Remember, as you get closer to that end zone, the field squeezes, people can play a lot tighter. It puts a lot of pressure on your quarterback. And the key again here is for Ray Lucas to come away with points. You can't, if you're going to get a touchdown, great. Otherwise, you want to have a shot at getting some points here.
13th play of this drive that's covered 76 yards. They face third and goal from the 8. Lucas, incomplete. Pressure coming from West Virginia. Boris Graham from Pemberton and Rick Dolly, and they never had a chance to set up the screen to Presley.
Very interesting call. With the ball sitting inside the 10-yard line, third down, they go with a middle screen. They're trying to hit Presley, 44. He slips up in the middle here. He's trying to dump it off to him in the middle and try to get a score. It's just thrown a little bit low. It would have been interesting if he made that catch. Good call. Different.
Now John Benestad, 0 for 1 in the field goal department today. 8 for 13 for the career. Out of the hold of Jim Garantano, a 25-yard attempt. It's up, and it's good. So with 10:51 to play, Rutgers on a John Benestad field goal cashes in the drive for 3 points, and it's the Scarlet Knights behind Ray Lucas, leading West Virginia 10-3.
College Football 92 is made possible by a grant from PSE&G. The power is in your hands.
Every day, every minute, every second, events are unfolding around the world. Get the stories while they're happening on the award-winning ITN World News. Watch it. The world will never look the same again.
That's weeknights at 10:30.
Rutgers leading the Mountaineers 10-3 with 10:51 left here in the second quarter. Benestad. And Garrett Ford better pick it up because that's a live ball. And that sets up a nice return for Garrett Ford. Finally tackled at the 40-yard line by Tim Geckler.
What happens many times when the ball comes down like that or something unusual happens on a kickoff, people hold for a minute or they freeze. That time, Ford was in trouble. He picked it up, found an opening, people stopped around him, and he got the ball out to the 40-yard line, which is terrific field position for West Virginia.
There's a bird's eye view from the stands at Rutgers Stadium. And now Studstill will have to call a timeout. Interesting at that quarterback spot, Bob, and Jake Kelchner, a junior from Berwick, Pennsylvania, who had started 6 games this year for the Mountaineers, was day-to-day returning after an injury in practice this week. Some felt that Kelchner might start. Studstill got the start and has continued at quarterback. And don't forget, what a great way to wrap up our NJN college football package. Dartmouth and Princeton for the Ivy League Championship. We'll have it for you next Sunday morning here on NJN.
It's going to be a great game because Dartmouth has a great offense, a terrific quarterback, and a kid named Fiedler who can throw the ball with anybody in the East. And Princeton, of course, has just been winning consistently, playing well both offensively and defensively. So it should be fun for that one. That's a real finale. And years ago, that's what it came down to, the Dartmouth-Princeton game, because both teams were very strong, and that game oftentimes determined the Ivy League champion.
Princeton controlling its own destiny. A win will earn the Tigers an outright Ivy League championship in 1992. Right now, though, we're talking Big East football. The Scarlet Knights and the Mountaineers. Studstill handing off to the tailback, Andrew Beckett, and Kareem Williams, 76, got up there to make the stop. What a hit by Kareem Williams.
And Kareem Williams is playing because of the injuries that have occurred in the defensive line, particularly at the nose tackle position. And you can't ask for a better hit than the big number 76 put on Morrell that time. As you know, Kareem Williams stands 6'1". He weighs 280 pounds, and he comes out of Philadelphia, PA.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10. Studstill. And Morrell crying for the ball across the way. Sean Williams with the hit. Big play.
Big play, and you got a penalty.
Incomplete, yes, and we've got a flag down back at the line of scrimmage, but it was Sean Williams that broke up the pass downfield.
I think it might go against Rutgers. It may go against Rutgers. Let's see what he said. He crossed the line of scrimmage, did he? In throwing the football?
Or was it a personal foul?
Well, I didn't see the first part of it. Let's see. It could have been on the sideline that he got hit late. Here's the referee, Terry Monk.
Well, Terry Monk about to walk it off.
That's what it is.
Sean Williams laid a lick on tight end Al Johnson, number 84, a sophomore from Washington, D.C. But they're going to walk it off from the line of scrimmage.
That's a bad call against Rutgers. They really played that well. They would have come up with a 3rd down and long.
The passer against the defense.
That was on the passer.
That was Studstill as he delivered the ball coming to the sideline. You're going to see a late hit on him, and the referee trailing the play is going to call it. And here it comes, and there's the pass, and there's the hit on him, and that, my friend, is really a poor call. I'm sorry.
Now here's Adrian Morrell on 1st down from the Rutgers 45-yard line. Tackled by Keith Price. So Rutgers gives up some yardage on the penalty. Just when they had things going their way.
Very close call by the referee on that play. Anyway, here we go. It's a big play defensively on a 1st down situation. Rutgers stacking their defense with 7 men up front. Get a good tackle from Malik Jackson and have him 2nd and long.
Jet and Hill split to the right. Studstill looking that way. Complete to Ed Hill, and Ed Hill fights for a 1st down, carrying junior Tim Geckler. Close to a 1st down. While we have a chance, let's go down to Mike Mayock.
Wide receiver Jim Garantano entered today's game as a career leader with 148 receptions. He credits his success to 3 things. Number 1, great natural hands. Number 2, the preparation to watch films. And number 3, basketball. He plays a huge amount of basketball, believing that his quickness, agility, and cutting ability comes from playing that sport.
And he also knows how to stay out of the sun with the towel over his head. First down, Mountaineers. Studstill, quick hitter, incomplete, looking for James Jett. I don't know if they crossed each other up on the pattern, but the ball was overthrown and Jett hadn't even turned.
Stud still has a lot of weapons here. He's got Jett, the great speedster, on the corner. The last time for the first down, he went to Ed Hill. What we saw with Ed Hill, Hill at number 5 is 6'4", and he utilizes his side to get up and screen people from him as he goes up for the football. But more importantly, he's a tough guy to bring down in the secondary, particularly when you're pitting number 5, Hill, against a guy who's maybe 5'8" or 5'9". He gives away a lot of size.
Mountaineers looking at 2nd and 10. Hand off to the fullback, Jim Freeman. Freeman stopped by Doug Atkins from that outside linebacker position, and Freeman came into the game 15 carries for 68 yards, and that man Doug Atkins, who had played so well at linebacker in that scheme that Rutgers put together to take on Army's wishbone offense.
Well, Rutgers defense has been in this situation quite a few times in this first half, and here's where they stiffened in the past and forced West Virginia to either go for a field goal or come up short on 3rd down.
Defensive coordinator Rich Rachel making the call. Here it is, it's Freeman, and Freeman, I don't believe he got there. Kareem Williams making another play from the nose tackle spot as Williams and Washington have alternated at the nose.
He did not get the first down. Now here's a test for Don Nealon. Does he want to go for 3 here? He's in position to do it, or is he going to get the first down and try and get a score? And he's elected, he's elected to go for it.
Sends in another tight end, Nate Ryan, 87, and Damian Gallimore, number 6, comes in at wide receiver. Freeman and Morrell on 4th and 1. Here's Morrell, hit at the line, but he may have fallen forward enough to pick up the first down. We'll await the call.
Big play by the defense, and you're right, he might have fallen forward for enough. It's going to be close. Going to be interesting. And they're going to have to bring those sticks into measure.
And look who's up there to make the play. Number 43, strong safety Malik Jackson.
It's real close, Pat. This is going to be real close.
Everybody wants a look. First down, Mountaineers. Wow, that was close.
Rich Rachel, a defensive coordinator, doing a terrific job today, alternating his defenses, getting maximum effort out of these guys. Give credit to West Virginia, 4th and short. Don Nealon goes for it and gets it.
Now they'll deploy Gallimore and Hill to the left. Handoff, Adrian Morrell brought down as he crosses the 20-yard line. Jameel Jackson.
Again, Rutgers loading up in there on first down. They've got 7 men up on that line of scrimmage, 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and they're looking to stop the run. One of the reasons why West Virginia early on has gone to the pass off a first down. Again, that time Morrell carried the ball a tough going and picked up 4 tough yards.
And that's the heart of the defense you've been looking at. Jameel Jackson, number 41, who makes the defensive calls in the huddle for the Scarlet Knight defense. Studstill. A delay to Morrell. Nowhere to go. Jameel Jackson was there.
Excellent job defensively by the linebackers. Not going with the play fake. They try to run a counter, bringing Morrell back off the right side. Jackson, the linebacker, 41, out of Elizabeth, made the hit. Watch the play here. You'll see the counter action. Here he's running off his number 75, making the block for him with Stiles, the guard, pulling. 41 comes in. Jay Bellamy finishes him off, picks up 1 yard.
Jameel Jackson, Malik's older brother, came into the game with 49 tackles, a fumble recovery, and 3 tackles for loss. Now in the passing situation, Jameel is on the sidelines. West Virginia goes with a 1-back set. Studstill feeling the heat. Studstill chased back and brought down for a loss. Shane Spells, the sophomore from New Brunswick, sacks him for a loss of 22 yards, and a flag flies at the conclusion of the play.
Interesting call. Great effort by 97. He comes in from the corner and he just tracks him down, but great pursuit in keeping him home. Watch this. Let's see what this is going to be about. Here you're going to see the action. Here's stud still 14, half sprinting to his right side. As he pulls up here, he sees bodies all over him. And from the backside, number 97 Spells chases him down.
And gets called for a face mask, Bob, as we could see it at the conclusion of the play.
Well, the question is where they're going to mark this off from.
That's the preliminary call from referee Terry Monk. Shane Spells makes the big play, and now we'll see.
Oh, he's going to give him first down. Oh, that's a tough call. That is a tough call. Huh.
It was not the 5-yard unintentional variety as Doug Graber looks on.
Well, two great efforts by the Rutgers defense, hurt by penalties here. One roughing the passer out of bounds, and now a face mask call after dropping Studstill for a big loss.
It's a 31-yard swing, a 9-yard penalty after a 22-yard sack by Spells. And now West Virginia, 1st and goal from the 9-yard line, and the fans don't like it. Freeman wrapped up by Beckett after a gain of 1 or 2. Andrew Beckett, the junior from Barrington.
Trying to run that fullback up inside. They've had success with Freeman cutting against the grain. That time he breaks it back to the right side off of LeBlanc, the right guard, and Edwards, the right tackle. But look at number 98, Beckett, the junior, coming up to make the hit, and he's got a lot of people. Defensively, Rutgers is key today. They've played outstanding football, particularly against the run.
Coming into the game in the red zone inside the 20, West Virginia had scored 24 touchdowns and 6 field goals in 35 attempts. Studstill complete out in the flat to Morrell, who's upended at the 5-yard line. Marshall Roberts made the tackle. We'll talk about that. About 86% scoring inside the red zone for Don Nealon coming into the game.
Excellent call that time. What he did was he was looking downfield, but he dropped the ball off to his tailback. He hit that pass earlier in the first quarter. Good pursuit, and of course the veteran Marshall Roberts diagnosed the play, come up and made a good open field tackle on an excellent running back, Adrian Morrell. Here we go, 3rd down and 5. The ball sitting right on the 5-yard line.
Jet and Hill split to the left. Studstill rolling left. Complete. Incomplete to Adrian Morrell. He had it for a moment. It was broken up by Keith Price. Jay Bellamy also there. So Rutgers stops West Virginia inside the 9-yard line.
Another great effort on the corner here as he tries to hit Morrell. Watch, the ball's a little bit behind him. Never had a chance to make the play, but excellent coverage by Keith Price, who's played very well today on the corner position. You've called his name a lot on tackles and also on pass breakups. So here, West Virginia, instead of 6, is trying to get 3 out of this drive.
Vanderjagt on to attempt the field goal. Rutgers had good penetration up the middle, but it's good. And the Bluebirds are out at Rutgers Stadium. Penalties kept the drive alive, but Don Nealon in West Virginia put 3 on the board and trail 10-6.
New Jersey Association of Realtors. Professionals dedicated to assisting you through your decision-making process in buying and selling a home in New Jersey with step-by-step guidance, including affordability, financing, and choosing a place to call home. Yes, you can buy a home in New Jersey.
Chris Brantley looking for room on the right-hand side, and Brantley gives the Scarlet Knights good field position as he stepped out of bounds down around the 34-yard line. Let's go down on the sidelines to Mike Mayock.
Pat, I think it's time to give Rutgers' beleaguered defense some credit here. We talked with Rich Rachel earlier in the week. What they're trying to do on 1st down is to take West Virginia out of a short second and short distance situation. What they're doing is 4-man defensive line, 3 linebackers stacked up, and what they're doing is they're blitzing and turning. And what's really happened, bottom line, is it's 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10, exactly what they're looking for.
Little wrinkle from defensive coordinator Rich Rachel. Lucas, look out, avoids a sack in the backfield. Now Lucas doing what he does best, pulls it down and gets back, picking up a couple of yards. Tom Briggs, 93, was coming, and Lucas sidestepped this man.
He's got great vision for a young player, and that time he saw Briggs coming in on the right side. Here we go. He's going to look upfield after the play fake to Presley. Here comes Briggs, 93. He sees him. He just steps aside and gets under control, and as you named it, he got back over the line of scrimmage, picked up a yard. Stepped out of bounds, 2nd down and 9.
Well, that's what they were looking for from Ray Lucas, and Tom Briggs came into the game with 7 sacks, accounting for 53 yards and losses for offense. Where's Lucas's numbers? Bobbles the snap, picks it up. They had Brantley coming on an end around, and that play was out of sync the minute that Ray Lucas bobbled or dropped a snap from Travis Broadbent.
They had troubles right from the beginning. Unfortunately, number 88, Stoll, was moving. He had to shift across the formation to get in the proper place. He was late getting there. The snap came early. It was just a bad-looking play right from the start. They're fortunate they didn't fumble it. They pick up about a half a yard, but it's still 3rd and 9.
3:35 left here in the first half. Rutgers leading 10-6. Mario Henry is split to the left. Brantley and Garantano to the right. Lucas, flush from the pocket, pulls it down, and he is hit hard at the 36-yard line. Mike Collins was there. So was Briggs and Tim Brown.
Again, that time they were laying back, looking for the pass. Extra defensive back in the game, and Axum for West Virginia. Nobody open. He had to eat the football. The only thing you can say about Ray Lucas is that he should probably slide and not take that punishment because these guys are too aggressive. And of course, West Virginia, knowing there's 3:11 on the clock, trying to get back in here with another score before the half, calls timeout.
West Virginia trying to get the most out of this. Rutgers averaging 37.7 yards a punt. His only punt today, 39 yards. And West Virginia with 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Dunn took about an extra step. Jett Fields on the 33. Flag on the play. James Jett down the right side, but they'll probably bring it back. James Jett nonetheless sprinting into the end zone, but back where he fielded the punt. Flag on the play.
What happened there was Dunn's kick was terrible. It was a line drive, the kind you can return all the time. He kicks it on the line to James Jett, who picks it up on the run, and as he gets to the corner, fortunately for Rutgers, the end man, the contained man, is clipped, and they're going to pull this one back. But they can't afford to kick that way. James Dunn has got to do a better job than try and hit line drives to one of the fastest return men in the country.
It was a 30-yard punt.
Illegal block in the back of the way. Of the foul. 1st down.
We'll take a look at the clip off the 30-yard punt by Dunn.
There it is, right there on the 34-yard line. You see a pure clip, and it comes from number 12 for West Virginia, and that is John Harper, a defensive back. But you can see the speed of Jett. I mean, once he was on the corner, it was all over. What a threat to have. That senior from, where's he from, Pat?
Shenandoah Junction, West Virginia.
That's about where you started your career in this business.
There's Studstill starting from his 22-yard line, handing off to Morrell, and it's Abraham Washington back at the nose tackle spot, making the snap on Morrell.
Good job up front by Rutgers again. They're doing a good job on that 1st down situation. Getting penetration, people staying at home, and Washington, the redshirt freshman out of Washington, D.C., really stayed at home and did well.
Rutgers comes in now with Keith Price, Bob Sneathen in at linebacker. Here's Studstill, complete to Jay Carney. Jay Carney, the junior from Piscataway, comes up with another catch today, his 3rd catch of the day.
Rutgers playing a lot of zone coverage. We've called that all day. on the corners. They're playing 7-8 yards off, giving those wide receivers a lot of cushion. Okay, keep it in front of you. But sooner or later, you may have to take the gamble, either a Bellamy or one of those guys coming up on the corner and make a shot at that ball.
They're going to measure for the first down. Let's see, did Carney get it? No. Short by the length of a football.
The fans are really into this game.
They
you can
are.
tell.
Good to
They're
hear.
upset with some of the calls. That doesn't have any effect on the game, but they're in the ball game, and that's important for their team. West Virginia struggling this first half with their offense. A highly powered offense came in averaging almost 30 points per game. And Rutgers defensively has really met the test and done a great job in keeping them off the board.
Now here we go, 3rd and 1 from their 32 with 2:09 left. So if Rutgers can somehow make a play here on 3rd down, they might choose to use their last time out of the half to get the ball back. But instead, it'll be Jim Freeman for the first down.
Okay.
Quick handoff to the fullback.
You got to believe now Don Nealon's going to go up top, try and get upfield here with 2 minutes left. At least get position to get another shot at a field goal or go for a score. You've got to be wary of James Jett in this situation because he's the guy that can beat you deep.
Ed Hill is split to the left. And still on the straight drop. Across the middle. Complete to Hill at the 50-yard line. Ed Hill brought down by Tim Geckler in the 15-yard pass reception. Will stop the clock while they move the chains and give the Mountaineers a first down.
Hill came into this game with 30 receptions, 371 yards and 5 TDs. He's a big target. He comes in and curls, gets the first down. There's a possession pass, and at 6'4", as we've mentioned, he's a big target and a tough guy to bring down.
Damian Gallimore is split to the right. Carney to the left. Studstill with time. Complete to the tight end. Knocked out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Al Johnson, a sophomore from Washington, D.C., driven out by George Stewart. That'll stop the clock with 1:13, and the Mountaineers moving in Rutgers territory.
They got plenty of time. They've got 2 timeouts left. They're working the clock beautifully as they alternate their receivers. Now they bring Jett back in the game. You're in a perfect position to go up top for the score because you're getting field position for a field goal if that doesn't work.
Brett Parisi, 39, and James Jett split to the right. Hill to the left on first down. Here comes the Rutgers rush. Complete again to the tight end, Al Johnson. As he came across the field, Tim Geckler made the play again. And this too, excuse me, Bob, is going to be very close to a first down. They'll mark it 2nd and 1.
Again, Rutgers defending against the touchdown. They're giving him that in-front yardage by making that tight end come across underneath the linebackers. And that time he was a little bit short of a first down, but he stopped the clock with 1:09.
Here's Studstill. He'll pull it down and run on the quarterback draw. First down, West Virginia, with a minute left here in the first half.
Now Rutgers has to change their tactics a little bit. The field is getting squeezed. Studstill is throwing the ball. He's getting great protection. They may have to take a chance and put pressure on him by coming with a rush.
There's the defensive call from Rich Rachel. They chart how each defense works. Jett and Parisi as Parisi now goes in motion. Studstill coming. Oh, nearly intercepted. Jay Bellamy got in front of the intended receiver and batted it down.
Great effort by Bellamy this time. He's trying to hit him in the flat. Bellamy from his safety position. Watch this effort as you see Studstill deliver the football. Number 9 comes right across in front of Parisi to make the play. Big play. 37 seconds remain. Again, West Virginia still has 2 timeouts, so they can use that as they try to extend this drive and get in the end zone.
Jay Bellamy back at that free safety position this week. Studstill on a straight drop, looking downfield, intended for Carney, and Carney stopped. Excellent coverage. Keith Price was with him step for step.
I think they were using that time. He was looking back into the sun also, but excellent coverage by Price. Price has done a great job today. He's come in critical situations to make key tackles, and he's defended very well against these very able West Virginia receivers.
And now Price and company have the Mountaineers 3rd and 10. Studstill looking left, complete to Ed Hill at the 10-yard line, and he does the splice thing and gets out of bounds to stop the clock with 26 seconds left.
Again, Hill is the guy. They got so many weapons here. 3, 4 receivers in the. They spread that field and they come back to 6'4" Hill, right on the sideline, and he's got enough for a first down.
You know, you got a glimpse of the Mountaineer. He does not have his weapon today. Normally the Mountaineer has that old rifle, and the last time that Rutgers was down at West Virginia, the Mountaineer fired his rifle, and it cost Rutgers a field goal. Rutgers wound up losing 21-20. Here's the handoff to the fullback Freeman. Brought down at the 6-yard line, and now West Virginia calls timeout with 22 seconds left.
You got to be really concerned here because Studstill has great protection. He's got excellent receivers, but more importantly, he's got the ability to scramble himself. So Rutgers has got to defend against the receivers. They got to defend against that guy right there, number 14, Darren Studstill, and his running ability. It's going to be an interesting call. Very interesting call for Don Nealon and also for the Rutgers defense.
Oh, don't forget, coming your way on NJN beginning December 1st, it's the PSE&G Game of the Week. College basketball will tip it off at Walsh Gymnasium in South Orange as the Seton Hall Pirates entertain the Rider Bronx. That's December 1st as we begin the first of 12 Tuesday nights, live at 8 on NJN.
Rutgers is making massive substitutions now defensively. They're bringing in Bob Sneeden at one defensive end position. They're bringing in Washington to get a little bit of quickness and perhaps some pressure on the quarterback. And Glenn Nave has come in at the other defensive end position. So they're substituting by situations here and hope they get the effort and guess right.
2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. Double receivers to the right. It's Hill and Jett. Studstill will run in that direction. Darren Studstill, rushed by Washington, complete. Touchdown to James Jett.
And that's the problem you face. You spread that field, you come across the formation, and we're looking down here. Looks to me like there's a penalty. He might have gone across the line of scrimmage and thrown the football. If so, what a break for Rutgers. That's it.
That's the call. It's a loss of down, wipe out the touchdown, and James Jett, who's been in the end zone twice today,
he's saying, hey,
has seen both called back because of penalties.
Wonderful as he gets open here. You see Studstill on the corner, looking in the end zone. Watch Jett. You'll see him at the bottom of the screen. He stops, and now he works back into the open area. Studstill finds him. But fortunately for Rutgers, Studstill had gone across the line of scrimmage and delivering the football and give the officials a break. What do you want to give them? You don't give officials too much. Let's give them.
Right. It depends on what you want.
Let's give them a little hand for at least seeing that and calling it. It was very important, and they made the call. Credit. That's the word. Credit.
I'll get plenty of credit.
It's hard for me to find words for officials, you know, as an ex-coach.
You're a former banker. You should know all about credit.
Well, yeah, but officials.
Abraham Washington was big force in chasing down Studstill. And now here's Darren dropping back again. Incomplete, intended for Jay Carney, and Studstill fired a missile.
Good coverage by the Rutgers secondary. Carney, of course, from the wide receiver position to the wide side of the field, came back looking to get the football around the 7-yard line, maybe get into the end zone. It wasn't going to happen. So Rutgers defense, they've really played excellent this first half. One more test for them here. 3rd and 11. The ball sitting on their 11-yard line. 10 seconds remaining. West Virginia, 1 timeout remaining. Try to get in the end zone one time. If not, they'll go for the field goal.
And when you consider that Don Nealon and the West Virginia Mountaineers were 85% successful in the red zone coming into the game. Here's Freeman driving the pile down to the Rutgers 5-yard line. So they go straight ahead. They put the ball in good field position for the field goal kicker with 5 seconds left. And Mike Vanderjagt comes onto the field as the Mountaineers have called timeout.
Again, a great effort defensively. You got to feel Doug Graber and his staff, Rick Rachel, have to feel very good about the effort they've gotten in this first half from their defense. A patched up defense both in the secondary, on the line of scrimmage with their linebackers. They lost Todd Lane early, so it's a great effort. Meanwhile, West Virginia right on the verge. They've got so many threats in their arsenal. Very close now to bringing this game to being a 1-point differential, and we'll have a second half that, who knows, right? It could be very exciting.
I think if you told Doug Graber that you'd go off the field leading 10-9 at the half, he'd be very happy. Here's Mike Vanderjagt, 2 of 2 today for 6 points for the Mountaineers. Here's the Big East Special Teams Player of the Week last week with 32 and 33-yard field goals, along with 5-point after tries. This one is up and good. So a 24-yard field goal, his third of the day, Mike Vanderjagt. And with 2 seconds left, Rutgers and Doug Graber leading 10-9. As the Mountaineers has 9 push-ups coming.
That's the way the Mountaineer earns his scholarship in West Virginia, doing things like that. And, kind of impressive.
Okay, Bob, 2 seconds left. If you're Rutgers, you know, West Virginia gave up a touchdown on a reverse on a punt return. Excuse me, on a kickoff, no, punt return on the 3-yard line last week, a 97-yard touchdown on special teams. If you're Rutgers, do you put something on at this point with nothing to lose with 2 seconds left?
If they kick the ball to you, they may not do that. They may just, you know, scrib it down there and not give you a chance to make a return, which is very logical in this situation. But I think you go in at halftime. Don Nealon goes in feeling very comfortable now at 10-9 because he's been struggling offensively. And Rutgers, of course, has to feel very good about both their defense and their offense. They've done a lot of positive things in this first half. The key is they got to carry it over with the same momentum, same enthusiasm, same intensity in the second half. Because West Virginia, as we saw very quickly, has a lot of ways to score and score quickly.
Vanderjagt to kick off. Presley and Bailey waiting at the Rutgers 10. Fair catch signaled at the 29-yard line.
So they got one play with 2 seconds on the clock.
Chris Stoll fielded the kickoff, called for the fair catch as one of the up men. And now Ray Lucas will probably load it up.
Well, he may load it up, and as you look in the secondary, number 30, David Mayfield, a safety for West Virginia, is 30 yards deep, so he's expecting the long pass.
Mike Vanderjagt kicks off to start the second half. It goes through the end zone, so the Scarlet Knights will begin the third quarter on offense here at RU Stadium, where they are 9-0 under head coach Doug Graber. Start from the 20 on this very cool yet sunny November afternoon. And what could be the final game for a long time here at Rutgers Stadium as they get their expansion and renovation plans underway. And no doubt, though, Ray Lucas will still be at quarterback when we come back to Rutgers Stadium. Only a freshman. And he'll take over. 1st and 10 from the 20. Here's Lucas. Off play action, rolling right. Throws it out in the flat for Bailey, and Bill Bailey made a nice grab, got one hand on the ball and pulled it in for the 6-yard reception.
Great call. Bootleg action. Bailey slipped into the flat, and a nice pass from Ray Lucas. Good concentration by number 21, the junior Bailey out of West Milford, New Jersey. Nice gain. First down. You pick up about 6 yards.
And now TK Dorsey will come in at the fullback or H-back spot, as it's called, in this Rutgers offensive scheme on 2nd and 4. Brantley now in motion. Dorsey and Presley, the running backs. Handoff, Bruce Presley. Presley brought down at the 28-yard line. Quickly to the ball was Rick Dolly, the senior from New Creek, West Virginia. Well, you talk about the featured running backs, Bruce Presley and Adrian Morrell. Presley 48 yards on the ground, 1 catch for 20. Morrell held to 28 yards in the first half. That's a big, big feather in the cap of the Rutgers defense.
They're going to be tested, though, the second half. You heard their coach, Don Nealon, say we got to get the ball on the perimeter to do it. They can run the option or just pitch it back to the tailback. So Rutgers defense will be tested the second half to try and contain Morrell as they did so well the first half.
Bradley and Garantano to the top of the screen. They'll pitch to Presley, and Presley is one in for a loss of 2 yards. Barry Hawkins was there, so was Dave Mayfield from the secondary position. And Bruce Presley, looking for a hole, had no place to run.
They came up 3rd down and 2, and they tried to run back into the sideline with the sweep, but the pursuit and the ability to get off blocks by West Virginia defensively never gave Presley a chance to make the cut. Threw him for a loss and now forced a punt, and we know the punting situation could be very dangerous with James Jett in the safety.
But now we're going to see David Lippitz back to punt, replacing David Dunn, who handled those duties in the first half. And Jett, who had a punt return called back, is back at his 35-yard line. Jett out to the 40-yard line. So James Jett, a 5-yard return off a 38-yard punch at their own 40-yard line. Hill to the left. Jett to the top of the screen. They'll operate from the I formation. And Studstill on a straight drop. Studstill looked off one receiver and got it to the tight end, Al Johnson, for a first down into Rutgers territory. Jameel Jackson and Sean Williams combined, but Al Johnson has become a favorite receiver for Darren Studstill.
He was the secondary receiver here. As you look at the frustration, sure, he's upset. He sees that good coverage in the secondary. He's mad at the officials for something else here. I think perhaps he's saying they're holding his defensive lineman. But aside from that, Studstill looked upfield. Nothing was there, and he finally came to his tight end underneath for a first down.
Gallimore split to the right. Studstill hands off to Morrell, and Morrell met at the line of scrimmage. Marshall Roberts, the senior from Willow Grove, Pennsylvania.
Great job on the secondary by Roberts on the corner coming up, not permitting Burrell to get the ball and cut it back. Roberts, of course, has been an outstanding player in so many capacities for this club over his career.
Roberts, who's the all-time punt returner for the Scarlet Knights, injured an ankle against Navy, missed the Penn State game. It was a big loss for the Scarlet Knights. Now here's 2nd and 10 off the no gain by Morrell. Studstill gets it out to Johnson again, and the tight end hauls it down. Malik Jackson from his strong safety spot makes the tackle.
Nice little bootleg action, slipped the tight end into the flat. Johnson been very active, a guy we didn't come into this game looking to call his name that much, but he's been open underneath, which tells you that the Rutgers secondary doing a pretty good job of defending deep against the wide receivers. So they're looking to the tight end. Crucial right here in Rutgers territory, 3rd down and 5 for West Virginia.
And it's Jett and Brett Parisi split to the right, Ed Hill to the left. Studstill across the middle. Intercepted. Tim Geckler. Geckler intercepts and returns it to the 45-yard line. Jameel Jackson deflected it. And what concentration by Tim Geckler, the junior from Ridgewood.
And give credit, you called it. It was Jameel Jackson who made the play. The linebacker got a very deep drop. Watch number 41 here, and you'll see why. Here's Studstill looking to come over the middle here. Watch 41. He gets a good deep drop, which permits him to get in front of number 5, Hill, deflect the ball, and Geckler comes up with a play. And again, the Rutgers defense comes through.
Timmy Geckler making the play for the Scarlet Knights. So now Ray Lucas will take over on first down, heading off to Presley. And Presley gains a yard on the left side before Barry Hawkins brings him down.
It'll be very tough for Rutgers to move the ball on the ground. They may do it on occasion. They did a good job the first half, but West Virginia has tightened up in the second half, getting a lot of pursuit, and their linebackers getting a lot of tough play. Sooner or later, right, Lucas is going to have to throw the football in a controlled fashion to loosen up this defense.
There's Tim Geckler, who made his first interception of the season. Congratulated on the sidelines. Now Ray Lucas will try to turn it into points. Lucas going downfield for Brantley, and Brantley had to come back through the coverage of Mike Collins, number 25, and it's incomplete.
Good adjustment, though, by Lucas. He came out on the corner looking for Brantley short. He was covered by Collins, automatically turned it up, reaction, tried to get deep, and he almost had it to him. Watch here as he comes out on the sprint out. He's looking for Brantley, number 12 on the sideline. Brantley sees he's covered. Now Brantley takes off, and he drops that ball off to him. 25, as we said before, has 19 career pass broken up plays. Very active junior Mike Collins from Huntington, West Virginia, number 25.
Rutgers just 1 of 7 on third down conversions. Lucas with time, now flush from the pocket. Looking downfield, and he'll step out of bounds.
Well, the crowd is not happy with that, but he had coverage in the secondary. Instead of putting it up for the interception, he stepped out of bounds. Good call by the young freshman. That's all you can do in that situation. You can't afford to give this team field position.
In fact, that's why Ray Lucas is a quarterback this week, and Brian Forte is on the sidelines, because Forte, for all the spectacular plays he makes, he's thrown 16 touchdown passes this year, but he's also thrown 15 interceptions. Nearly blocked quarterback is junior Jake Kelchner from Berwick, Pennsylvania. Kelchner will hand off to Jim Freeman at the fullback spot. Jake Kelchner, a high school teammate of Rutgers wide receiver Lance Avina.
Kelchner's got some size. He's 6'2", 210, more of a drop-back type passer. There are his stats: 6 TDs, 6 interceptions. He likes to throw the ball, but he's got size to drop back and do it. He's not the threat of running or scrambling or with the option that Darren Studstill is.
Don Nalen looking for a spark on offense. Kelchner hands off to Morrell, and Morrell met at the line of scrimmage by George Stewart. Number 56 from Valley Cottage, New York, back from a neck injury, had played with 2 broken wrists earlier in the season.
Little draw action here as Kelchner on his first drop back action drops it back and gives it on a draw to 42. Morrell, and it's been a long day for Adrian Morrell. Rutgers defensively has contained him, and Stewart playing with injuries, big play.
And Adrian Morrell walked off the field and is on the West Virginia sideline holding his left shoulder. So John Jones, who's explosive, number 33, is in the ball game. And Kelchner across the middle, complete for the first down to Ed Hill, who bobbled it but made the catch.
That's a possession pass. Hill knows where the first down marker is. He goes down, gets about 7 yards, comes back and makes the catch, and I think they've got a first down off of it, and they keep the drive going. Kelchner, of course, not fast, but he drops back and sets up and delivers the football, and I think Rutgers, in passing situations, if they can do it, can put pressure on him. He's not as mobile as Studstill, but he does have a very strong arm.
Carney is split to the left. Jet. And Hill to the top of the screen. Here's the handoff. John Jones leaps one tackler and gets into the Rutgers secondary. Down to the 42-yard line before Jay Bellamy made the tackle. A 21-yard pickup for junior John Jones.
6'3", 220 out of Charleston, West Virginia. Here it is. Hands the ball off tackle, runs up behind his fullback, Garrett Ford, and he gets through the tackle of 41, Jameel Jackson, and gets into the secondary. And he carries the ball. He's averaging 6.9 yards per carry with 4 TDs. So they don't lose a heck of a lot when Jones comes into that lineup for Adrian Morrell.
Against East Carolina last weekend, he had 12 carries for 73 yards and a touchdown. And they'll operate from the I formation. Give it off again to Jones. Jones this time met by the heart of that Rutgers defense. Jameel Jackson and Andrew Beckett are there. Jameel Jackson, who played for Jerry Moore at Elizabeth High School, was on this Rutgers team while his younger brother Malik was being recruited.
Just an isolation play, trying to run up inside, and you'll see number 41 fill the hole, come up and make the hit. Can't do it any better than that. 2nd and 9.
This time it's double receivers to the right. Here comes Ed Hill in motion. They're going to run the end around. Jet drop by Sean Williams. Ball is loose.
they say he was down before he fumbled the ball. Great play, great reaction. He did cough it up, and they're going to give it to Rutgers.
Rutgers recovers the fumble caused by Sean Williams. Another big play by the head of that defense, and Ibrahim Washington recovered.
Here it is, C92. He never loses sight of this. He stays as deep as the ball carrier, forces the fumble. There, it's a loose ball. Here it is again, and you're going to see him come in, and the ball is coming right out of his hands as he's on his way down. And there's the fumble, and let's see who gets the recovery. 53 came in there for the recovery for Rutgers.
And Jameel Jackson is down on the field right now.
That was Washington. Ibrahim Washington got the recovery. Again, the defense rises to the occasion, gets the turnover for Rutgers.
May have been a situation where someone rolled onto that ankle of his. And now the Rutgers offense takes over. 1st and 10 from their own 45, and Lucas, straight drop, out in the flat, complete to Marco Battaglia. They pick up 2 or 3 yards. Tim Brown and Kwame Smith there for the Mountaineers.
They got to open it up a little bit on the early down, particularly against the run, because it looks like West Virginia is playing the run and playing it tough inside. So that time they got the ball outside, a little bit behind Battaglia, picked up a couple of yards.
Bob, Rutgers came in thinking they had to use up the offensive playbook today, throw everything at the Mountaineers. Now 10-9 midway through the 3rd quarter. Does that change your philosophy? Do you try to play it a little closer to the vest?
Not if you're trying to win this game. You got to play it just the way you came into this game. Everything goes.
And here goes Lucas to Battaglia. Marco Battaglia into Mountaineer territory at the 48-yard line, but a couple of yards short of a first down. Derek Wiley, the junior, making the stop as we take a look at the play.
Okay, watch the action here. Fakes to the single back. Presley comes out on a little counter and gets his tight end sliding into the flat again. Got to be covered by a linebacker. In this case, 45 Wiley is there. A control pass, pick up about 6 yards, looking at a 3rd and 2.
Garantano and Brantley are split to the left. Mario Henry at the bottom of your screen. Here's Presley, never got started, lost his footing in the backfield, and Barry Hawkins had a little bit to do with it.
6'5", 260. Hawkins came through, got penetration, never gave Presley a chance to make the cut. Unfortunate for Rutgers. This was a great opportunity to get a first down, get a little better field position. A big play there by the sophomore out of Marietta, Pennsylvania, Barry Hawkins.
And in fact, I believe that Presley may have tripped up over the feet of Ray Lucas.
2 great turnovers by the Rutgers defense has led to nothing here. And those kind of opportunities you just can't push aside. Sooner or later, you got to cash in on them.
Bad snap, fielded by Lippitz.
Bad kick.
They're going to take over at their 37-yard line after an 11-yard punt. Let's go down to Mike Mayock. Mike?
Thanks, Pat. Adrian Morrell bruised the joint in his shoulder that he had problems with before. The doctors say that he's going to play as pain allows. How'd you like that one, Patrick?
Wow.
Here's another injury on the sideline for Rutgers. You're looking at Malik Jackson. They need him in that defense, particularly in the linebacker corps, against this strong running game for West Virginia.
And number 57, Louis Pito, comes in for Jameel Jackson. And here is John Jones ripping off 7 yards on first down before Doug Atkins makes the play.
Patched up defense. You've talked about it all day for Rutgers, both in their secondary as well as on their defensive line, and now their linebacker core, where Jackson is hurt, Todd Lane is hurt. They're trying to make it with a lot of people doing extra duty.
Now a 2nd and 4 as Hill comes to the left. Time left in the 3rd quarter. Kelchner has it knocked from behind, stripped. Rutgers recovers.
Guess who?
Sean Williams. Williams is going to run it down toward the end zone, but they're going to rule him down. But Sean Williams, 2nd straight series that he's forced a West Virginia turnover.
We said he could get to him. He sets up a little slower. He doesn't have the mobility. This is a tremendous effort. Watch as Kelchner drops back. There comes Williams. He deflects the ball before he ever brings his arm forward, and then goes and makes the recovery. Okay, Rutgers offense got to do something here. 3 opportunities here in the 3rd quarter. They've got to get some points sooner or later. Sean Williams, what a career he's had here.
Third turnover for the Mountaineers this quarter. An interception by Tim Geckler and Sean Williams, forcing 2 fumbles. Now let's see what the Rutgers offense does. They deploy Mario Henry to the left. Lucas rolling right. Complete to Battaglia at the 25, still on his feet. Oh, Battaglia down to the 21-yard line. First down, Rutgers.
Great effort by one Lucas, getting out of trouble, coming on the sideline and looking up Battaglia, who stayed on the sideline open. He got the ball, and watch the second effort here. Here comes Lucas. Little play fake again. The 44, his tailback Presley. Now he sees the pressure from 41 coming from the linebacker core, and there goes Battaglia, releasing, catches the ball behind him, runs through the tackle of 56 Brown, and gets the first down.
First and 10 from the 21. Triple receivers to the left. Lucas rolling that way and throws it out of bounds. Good coverage in the West Virginia secondary.
Very tough when you're a right-handed quarterback to throw the ball when you can't get your shoulders around it. He never had a chance to turn to deliver the football because there was pressure on him inside out. Good job by West Virginia, putting a lot of pressure on Ray Lucas. And 2nd and 10. But again, Rutgers in great field position here. They've got to come away with something.
Ray Lucas getting his first start since the Penn State game. What a debut that was for Lucas as he earned his first collegiate start against the Nittany Lions at Giant Stadium. Today, 12 of 20 for 160 yards. Brantley in motion. Dorsey and Presley, the running backs. This is Bruce Presley. Bruce Presley cuts it in to the 5-yard line. He ran over the tackle of David Mayfield and picks up 15 yards. First and goal to go, Rutgers.
Great call. Good job by Presley. Watch him as he here he improvises. He comes up on the left side. He bounces off the block by T.K. Dorsey, his fullback. Now he kicks it to the outside, gets a block downfield from 18 Garantano, and takes the ball to the 6-yard line. Big play by Bruce Presley.
They'll rule him out at the 6-yard line, and number 74, Rick Ortiz, had a nice block to seal the line for Presley as he cut it outside. Dorsey and Presley still at running backs. Pitch to Presley, left side. Presley inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. Tim Brown, the junior from McKeesport, Pennsylvania, brought him down, but now Rutgers with a 2nd and goal to go from the 3-yard line.
Good job getting the ball to Presley. If you're going to do it here, get it to the guy that can get you in the end zone, and Presley knows how to do that. Good, tough running on the part of Presley. Good blocking up front, gave him 3 yards. He's got the ball just sitting outside the 3-yard line with 3 shots at it.
Mario Henry is split to the right. Brantley and Garantano to the left. Presley, the lonely running back. And it will be Presley, tackled for a loss of 2. Tim Brown from the inside linebacker spot, and he gets into it with Presley after the play.
What a play by Brown, the junior out of McKeesport, Pennsylvania. 6 foot 210, as you mentioned, came in leading this team in total tackles with 103. That's the kind of play you need on the goal line. He not only got in there, but he had to make the tackle. It looked like Presley was going to break it. He made the play at the 6-yard line. Ray Lucas decides they need a timeout.
Mike Mayock on the sidelines, former BC Giant defensive back. Mike, how much easier is it for a defensive back when the field shrinks and you're inside the 10-yard line defending a receiver?
Well, obviously, Pat, if you only have about 20 yards to defend, it makes a great deal of difference, especially when you're a slow guy like myself. But the one analogy I can draw is I played a year up in Canada, and that end zone is 25 yards deep. And in my first game there, on a 1st and goal from the 3-yard line, I got beat on an out and up.
All right, Rutgers with triple receivers to the right now, hoping to beat one of the Mountaineers. Lucas rolling right, throwing it in the corner of the end zone, over the head of the intended receiver, Jim Garantano. And Bob, that's a little bit of what we're talking about, a very crowded end zone at that point, and Lucas running to the short side of the field had no opportunity.
And tough to do it sprinting out like this, and particularly with pressure, because you start running out of time and your receivers start running out of territory. So I thought it was a tough call for him, and he didn't get it. But now a very crucial situation exists here because Benestad can put Rutgers up by 4 if he can make this three-pointer, and that would force, you know, as we go on in this game, it would force West Virginia to have to get a touchdown at this stage to go ahead. So here's we've got a lot of critical points. Here's a big one right now for Rutgers.
Benestad 1 of 2 in field goal attempts today. A 24-yarder. It's up, and it's good. And so with 2:56 left in the third quarter of play, the Scarlet Knights build a 4-point edge on the Mountaineers, capitalizing on the third turnover of the quarter by the Mountaineers and John Benestad's field goal. While we have a chance, let's go back to Mike. Mike?
Patrick, I've really been interested to watch Ray Lucas today. He's been in and out of the starting lineup all year, and what you guys have been talking about I find particularly interesting. Bob Cassiola made the comment early in the game that Ray was making all the right decisions, throwing the ball away, taking a sack if necessary. At halftime, Doug Graber went through the same thing. He talked about the maturity and the poise of this redshirt freshman. And as the game continues, I can't do anything but marvel at the ability of both the natural ability and the learned mental ability that he's had this year. He's done a great job pulling the ball down when he had to.
And Ray Lucas has thrown just 2 interceptions this year as he came into the game 40 of 65.
Very interesting. We came into this game thinking offense because both teams can score. Here we are sitting with 2:50, little less than 3 minutes in the third quarter. Rutgers leads 13-9. The defenses have dominated play. Surely there have been mistakes on offense by both teams, but defensively, both Rutgers and West Virginia have controlled the line of scrimmage and done a great job.
And so John Benestad getting set to kick off. Jared Ford and Damian Gallimore. And this is Gallimore on the 4-yard line. Behind a wall of blockers, Gallimore got by Benestad. Benestad got a piece, loose ball. And West Virginia has it. But excellent field position at the 44-yard line as Damian Gallimore, who came in averaging 24 yards a kick return, turned on the Jets.
I'll tell you, they've got great field position off their kickoffs and punt returns today, and they haven't really capitalized on it. Once again, they're starting on the 44-yard line.
Jake Kelchner continues at quarterback with Jet and Hill to the left. And flags fly. Looks like Keith Bryant, the Rutgers defensive end, may have jumped. Here's referee Terry Monk.
Oh,
Red ball foul on the Mountaineers.
that's the reason Keith Bryant jumped. They moved before the snap, and he came across and pushed them back.
So now West Virginia finds himself in 1st and 15. And again, it's Jet and Hill split to the left out of the I formation. John Jones in for a injured Adrian Morrell, wrestled to the ground by George Stewart.
John Jones, and undoubtedly Morrell is hurt, but Jones, of course, is the big back. At 6'3", he gets up enough momentum. He's going to run through blocks, but this time it does not happen. The ball is handed deep to him in the backfield. And you see coming off the block, number 56, George Stewart, the junior, at 6'2", 235, putting him down for a short gain.
Lisa Battler. Kelchner. Incomplete. Intended for Jay Carney, junior from Piscataway, and Kelchner underthrew the ball.
Little stop pattern. They've been using Carney on sideline cuts because of the cushion the Rutgers defensive cornerbacks have been given. That time he came down, stopped. The ball was thrown low and away from him. He didn't come up with it. And again, for the Rutgers defense, still plenty of time left, but a 3rd and 13. Important here for a stop and get the ball back in field position.
Carney trying to make his return to Piscataway, his hometown, memorable. 3rd and 13. Parisi in motion. Kelchner, the straight drop, pocket collapsing. Kelchner pulls it down and gets away. Kelchner brought down very close to a first down by Sean Smith.
All depends on the mark here, but I guarantee you if it's close, they'll go for it. He came up short. Let's see what Don Nealon does here. That time, Kelchner really took off, avoided a couple of tackles, and made it very close to a first down. And they'll probably call a timeout here to decide what they want to do on this 4th down situation. There's Kelchner. He's in the pocket. He pulls the ball down. He gets away right there, avoids the tackle by Beckett. And here comes the hit. Chasing him all the way back, by the way, is George Stewart. Made a big play to keep it from going for a 1st down. Now they're going to go over and huddle on the sideline. I'd be very surprised if Nealon doesn't go for it here.
So 4th and 1 coming up, and coming up this Thursday on NJN. We invite you to tune in live from 8 to 9 o'clock for Sports World. We'll be talking with Rutgers coach Doug Graber about this game as we wrap up the Rutgers West Virginia game and look forward to the Temple Owls next weekend in Philadelphia. Each Thursday night at 8 on NJN. And of course, coming up at the end of this 3rd quarter, we'll have an NJN Extra Point as we provide extra analysis, commentary, and interviews on this 3rd quarter action here at Rutgers Stadium. Don Nealon huddling his offense across the way. West Virginia, Bob, had really suffered through a tough stretch this year. They'd lost 3 straight. Their last victory before last weekend, I mean, the last game they played, they had tied BC and lost to Syracuse 2017, Penn State 40-26. They were in it with a minute and a half left, and then falling to Miami 35-23.
Okay, you got a 4th and less than a yard. He's got the backfield with him right now. Jones a tailback.
And they'll give to Jones, and Jones,
He'll be close.
very close. There's 57, Louis Beto, one of the Rutgers tacklers, and it all depends
It's going to be
on
very
the
close.
spot of the ball. Louis,
excuse me, Pat, but he moved that ball. It's going to be interesting. I think Rutgers feels they may have stopped him.
Louis Beto, the senior from Union City out of Emerson High School, coming in to replace Jameel Jackson as they bring the chains on to measure.
Get a great look at it. Great shot there, guys. He didn't get it.
It's short by the length of a football. The Rutgers defense holds.
Now let's go back through this series in the 2nd half. 3 turnovers by the defense led to only 3 points. This time they stop him. So in 4 series for West Virginia's offense, in great field position, they come up with no points. Rutgers with a great opportunity here to put some more points on the board.
So they'll take over from the Rutgers 47-yard line. Dorsey and Presley. Here's Bruce Presley, left side out to the 50-yard line. Rick Dolly making the stop.
What Doug Graber would love here is a few 1st downs, a series of 1st downs, get upfield, get better position, and also take some time down now. We're coming to the end of the 3rd quarter. It's important now. The clock will play a role as we go on here, but it's important now for Rutgers to put together a series of 1st downs, control the ball a little bit.
Garantano is split to the left. Brantley goes in motion as Rutgers operates from a pro set. Lucas scrambling for his life. Throws it out of bounds, incomplete. It was a safe pass to Brantley, who was out of bounds.
That time, I think Ray Lucas has got to stay at home a little bit. He's starting to get a little bit itchy and getting out of the pocket and the protection. And when he starts sprinting on the corner, he starts to limit what he can do, particularly against a team like West Virginia that pursues well. He's not going to have that opportunity to run like he has against other people. They get up the field in his face, so he's got to stay at home, stay with his protection a little longer, and find those people, deliver it from that protection. I think he's got a better chance of making completions.
Four wide receivers for Rutgers: Garantano, Brantley, Walker, and Henry.
Screen.
Incomplete. And Ray Lucas just threw the ball in the vicinity of Bruce Presley, who really hadn't turned for the ball. And now a flag flies after the play. I wonder if they're going to say he was intending to pass for center Travis Broadbent.
Can't be. 44 was in the vicinity. It would be a terrible call. It was a middle screen, and he just didn't get the ball to Presley. Simply put.
Play was over, and then the flag was thrown.
It's going to go against Rutgers. At least that's the way they're pointing. Ineligible.
Well, maybe it was that they had gotten downfield on the screen, Bob.
Exactly. That's what happened on it. So they get across the line of scrimmage before the screen developed. The official called it. Going to push him back and force him to punt the football.
You see Don Nealon declining, signaling to decline the penalty.
You just cannot have that many opportunities and give the ball up there.
Ineligible downfield. The pass crossed the line of scrimmage against the offense. Penalty flag, 4th down.
What you got to worry about here is you get so many opportunities, as Rutgers has had in this third quarter, coming away with only 3 points. And you can't afford to give the ball back to West Virginia because you know they have weapons. They're about to explode sometime. But more importantly, you're putting your defense back in the field after 3 downs. You can't do that to them.
David Lippett's back to punt. His last punt went 11 yards. James Jett back in the 15 of the Mountaineers. Much better effort by Lippett's here. Fielded by Jett on the 19. Gets across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Marco Battaglia made the tackle there. A 31-yard punt. A 3-yard return. Let's go down on the sidelines to Mike Mayock. Mike?
Thanks, Patrick. I have here with me a very special guest today, John Paquette, the Assistant Commissioner of the Big East Conference. And, John, we've got a pretty competitive game going here in the Big East.
It's a good game, and both teams still have bowl aspirations. It's a good one.
Let's talk about the one up in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts for a second. BC Syracuse. What happens bowl-wise?
Well, the Fiesta Bowl is there. John Junker, who is the main guy at the Fiesta Bowl, he's there. We think that's a good sign. We think the winner of that game is under serious consideration for the Fiesta.
And we'll go back upstairs for 1 second.
Well, Kelchner completes the pass to Ed Hill. Let's go back. Mike?
John, we're talking about the BC Syracuse game, the Fiesta Bowl. Very significant agreement with the Big East Conference and the Hall of Fame Bowl.
We're very pleased with it. Our third team, or the third choice of the bowls, will go to the Hall of Fame Bowl. It's another chance for our teams to play on New Year's Day. We're very happy with it.
Okay, maybe we'll watch this play and come down one more time with John.
Kelchner on the handoff to Freeman, and Freeman close to the first down yardage on 2nd and 2. Will await as they unpile the ball. And one more time, Mike.
Thank you. And John, you've been sitting up in the booth all day. There's an Independence Bowl scout up there, no secret. What do you think?
Tony Zadisco is the man from the Independence Bowl. This is one of 5 games they're watching today. They say the winner of today's game still has a good shot.
John
And Bob, West Virginia 15 and 19 under Nealon on grass, 1-1 in 92. They're definitely an AstroTurf team, as Kelchner on the quarterback sneak picks up a first down, but it definitely changes their offense. And with Morrell on the sidelines now, we'll have to see how they play here in the 4th quarter.
It's a very good point, Pat. As you see, coming into this game, you know, they're accustomed to playing at home on artificial surface. They play a lot on it. So it is a change of pace, and some teams do have an adjustment, particularly with the backs who are used to cutting and have much better cutting ability on an artificial surface. As we look at this game now going into the 4th quarter, Rutgers again, we can't say enough about their defense, but they've got to be wary. Kelchner has the ability to put this ball up and hit him deep, and I'm sure he's going to test him soon as we go on here in this game.
Hill and Jett split to the right. Kelchner rolling that way. Complete to James Jett at the 41-yard line. Jay Bellamy, who came into the game with 43 tackles, makes this stop.
Again, Jett, with his quickness, comes back on the curl and make the catch just short of the first down. But they're setting that up. Sooner or later, you're going to see him again try to go deep against the Rutgers secondary. Another guy who's played a key role in this game has been their tight end, Al Johnson, number 84. They like to substitute him. They bring him back in the game. They look for him to come underneath in the possession-type passes. And we'll see more of him, I'm sure, in this 4th period.
Jett to the left, Ed Hill to the right. Kelchner throws it out on a pitch play to John Jones on 2nd and 1.
Interesting call. They're staying away from going inside against Rutgers. They've shut off the middle. So that time they came out in what looked like an option, although Kelchner is not an option quarterback. He put it on the corner to Jones to see if he could get the first down. They're going to have to measure.
Well, the West Virginia Mountaineers did not expect to be in this spot early here in the 4th quarter, but Rutgers, give them credit, coming off a terrible loss to Cincinnati. 1-7 the Bearcats were before that. And look at the scoring by quarters. Rutgers opening up with the touchdown, then a couple of Benistan field goals. And Rutgers pitching a shutout in the third quarter.
Very, very unlikely against a team that's been averaging 30 points per game in West Virginia. But again, the defense has done the job, and here's the real test for them.
First down, Mountaineers. Kelchner, straight drop, complete to Hill in Rutgers territory at the 48-yard line. Malik Jackson, a strong safety, last year first team all Big East, makes the play.
What that does for him is it gives Kelchner half sprints here, sets up almost after 5 steps and turns and hits the curl pattern, the intermediate zone pattern. It does not give you a chance from a defensive standpoint to put a lot of pressure on Kelchner because he sets up so quickly. So it's possession passes, they're moving the ball on the ground, getting away from running the football where they haven't had much success today.
Freeman and Jones, this is Jones. Jones hit at the line of scrimmage and does not get the first down, I believe, so it'll be 3rd and short for the Mountaineers.
Good job of penetration that time by Sean Williams. He didn't make the hit, but he slowed him up enough for Malik Jackson to come through and get the final hit and keep him from getting the first down.
And also in the defensive huddle for the Scarlet Knights is Jameel Jackson, who we saw go out with the ankle injury, and Jameel Jackson back on the field. It's Sean Williams congratulating Jameel on getting back in there. There's Jameel. First down, Mountaineers.
That was a very gracious mark by the
was.
official, believe me, but they just got the first down to keep this thing alive.
20 first downs for the Mountaineers today.
First down calls. We've seen Kelchner now play action, come back to a short control pass to get yardage rather than run the football. Let's see if he continues that way.
Nate Ryan, the tight end, lines up on the left side. Brett Parisi in motion. Kelchner. Sacked by Sean Williams. Sean Williams drops him for a 10-yard loss. 6 sacks on the season now for Sean Williams.
And again, this is the play action we talked about. A little half sprint where he can set up now. He's looking to throw back. Great effort by 92. He runs inside the block of the fullback there. That's Jim Freeman, and gets him around the ankle. Never gives him a chance to throw the ball away even. Big play by Williams and the Rutgers defense.
So now it's 2nd and 19. Williams lining up the right side. Kelchner with time across the middle, complete to Ed Hill, who bobbled it and made the catch. Boy, he's done that once before today.
You think about James Jett, he's the deep speed, but this number 5 right here, Hill, is outstanding. From Cincinnati, Ohio, he's made the catch. He's made it to the flat, he's made it in the middle, and here's a nice pass inside with a lot of traffic, and he holds on to the football as he goes down and comes up with a gain and really picked up about 12 yards, and now it's 3rd and 7. Ball sitting on the Rutgers 44-yard line. Again, they bring the extra defensive back, Sean Smith, into the game. Another test for the Rutgers defense.
Parisi and Jett split to the left. Hill to the right. Parisi in motion. Kelchner under pressure is sacked. George Stewart. So the Rutgers defense with plays from Sean Williams and George Stewart drives the Mountaineers back out of Rutgers territory.
And that's the job. You keep him contained. He's not nimble. Watch him here. He can't get outside the rush. He pulls up. He waits in the middle. And there comes 56 for the hit. Big play. Great play by the Rutgers defense. And again, getting the ball back to their offense.
Sauerbrunn gets it away. It's a high punt. What hang time. Roberts fielding on the 7. Here's Marshall Roberts. Across the 20 with room to the 30. A flag is down, however, and so is Roberts at the 40-yard line.
Oh, that's a tough call. That's a tough call because number 46 for Rutgers, Paul Mascinelli, is going to get called. And that's going to back this football up if he's called for a clip downfield or a hold, as it's indicated. That's tough. Instead of having the ball in good field position, Rutgers going to end up with their backs to the goal line. They got to be very careful in this situation.
There's Paul Mascinelli. Well, you know, West Virginia as we listen to the call here.
Holding on the return team during the return. Half distance to the goal penalty. First down.
This is tough now. You're going to see a lot of pressure, I would bet, from West Virginia on this Rutgers offense. And again, the pressure's right there on that redshirt freshman quarterback, Ray Lucas.
The Mountaineers have the ball for 11 plays, 5.5 minutes, and no points. But now it's up to the Rutgers defense, or offense, to protect a 4-point lead, keep the ball moving against the Mountaineers. Double tight ends as they pitch to Presley on the right side. Bruce Presley gets out to the 10-yard line and no further. Wes Richardson and David Mayfield made the play.
So vital here for your offense to get a first down in the tough going. Of course, West Virginia flying to the football, kept Presley to about a 3-yard gain. Tough going here, but that's good yardage in there. As Doug Graber looks on, he knows how important it is not to have a turnover here, trying to get the ball upfield, get a little better field position, hold on to it. Don Nealon has to be concerned about his offense. They have really stammered today, and Rutgers defensively has done the job.
Double tight ends for the Scarlet Knights. Presley, good block by T.K. Dorsey on the corner. Springs Presley, first down Rutgers. 13 yards for Bruce Presley, and credit H-back T.K. Dorsey with giving the redshirt freshman running room.
And just what the doctor ordered for this Rutgers offense, a first down in a critical situation. Watch the pulling guard right there, number 61, Kavulich. There's a block downfield by Broadbent, and again, T.K. Dorsey makes it before the linebacker Wright. Number 4 comes up to make the hit. Rutgers got a first down. He gets the ball up over the 20-yard line.
And again, Rutgers approaching the 100 yards from the tailback position. Presley with 85 yards. They go double receivers to the right. Brantley in trouble. And Rutgers goes, oh, he threw the ball at Bruce Presley, and it's loose. I believe Presley got it back. A flag flies, and Chris Brantley had problems from the get-go on that play.
I don't understand the call, Pat. To be very honest with you, I don't understand the call. They may call that an incompleted pass, and that would be interesting, and that would be a tremendous break for Rutgers. But here they are moving up the field, trying to run laterally with a trick play. I don't buy it.
There's no flag on the play. It was an incomplete forward pass. It hit an eligible receiver.
It hit an eligible and surprised receiver, Bruce Presley, and good fortune shining on Doug Graber on that play.
Yes, it is. That is very, very fortunate for Rutgers.
So 2nd and 10 for the Scarlet Knights.
You got to think about keeping the football here and getting some time off the clock. You got 8:41. You're ahead by 4 points. You got to make first downs here.
Brantley and Garantano to the top of the screen. Mario Henry to the bottom. Here's Presley. And Bruce Presley picks up 4 yards.
4 tough yards running against that defense, but good job on the right side by Kavulich. Of course, we talk about Travis Broadbent, what he's meant to this program, playing injured. Good job up front for Preston to look up and pick 6 yards up on that play.
Now another crucial 3rd down situation for Rutgers. 1 for 10 on 3rd down conversions. Out of the shotgun. Lucas quickly. Complete. First down Rutgers. Jim Garantano got inside Leroy Axon and made the catch. It was a bullet from Ray Lucas.
But Ray Lucas is growing up. Watch this guy deliver this football in the clutch. You can't do it any better than that. And of course, Brantley, was that Brantley?
Garantano.
Oh, excuse me, I thought it was for 12 for a minute. It was Garantano made a key catch and got the first down. Big play for the Rutgers offense.
And it was Lucas from the shotgun just dropping back and delivering the ball. Offsides, Mountaineers. Free one for Rutgers as they hand off to Presley as the right defensive end jump for the Mountaineers.
What you see happening here is the frustration of West Virginia. They played well on defense, but they've been on defense a lot. They're starting to make little mistakes. You got a guy coming off sides here, number 55, Boris Graham, the outside defensive end. but you're starting to see little mistakes in the secondary, and Rutgers being able to block people up front. So important here now. They got a great opportunity. 7:37, much better field position. Just get yourself some first downs, take that clock down, and maybe come up with a score.
So first down and 5 yards for Rutgers as Antoine Moore comes in along with TK Dorsey. And Ray Lucas, 14 of 24, 172 yards and a touchdown. Great numbers for the redshirt freshman as Garantano is split to the right, Eddie Walker to the left. Here's the handoff. Antoine Moore ahead for a couple. Puppy Wright, number 4, a sophomore from Miami, Florida. I'll tell you what, if I'm a coach, I get those shoulder pads that go up in the back. Boy, that is an intimidating look for these guys.
Well, a lot of that too is they've got neck braces under here, and that's part of it. So they don't, they don't extend their neck in a direction where they'll get hyperextension. That's what you see under those shoulder pads. You're right. Burners, as they call them.
That's right. Lancevina split to the left. Walker in motion to the right. Here's the handoff to draw to Presley, and Bruce Presley avoids the tackle at the line of scrimmage from Rick Dolly and picks up another Rutgers first down.
What a day for Bruce Presley. What a day for Bruce Presley. 2 redshirt freshmen have highlighted this game. Presley, a tailback, and of course, the quarterback, Rich Lucas. Rutgers in control of this game right now. They are in control of this football game with 6:30 on the clock.
And ready to roll. The Scarlet Knights.
Inside the 50-yard line. On the Mountaineer side.
2 night drives continue. Walker in motion. Presley. Tackled by Rick Dolly. Picks up 2 or 3 on first down. Bear in mind, this drive began on the Rutgers 8-yard line. They've run off 8 plays so far, and nearly 4.5 minutes.
And give credit to the offense, to Stan Parrish and how they've used people. TK Dorsey and spot duty coming in, putting on some great blocks for Presley. And also they brought in Bill Bailey early on. A lot of good substitutions, and all this comes because of the injury situation with this ball club.
Lucas rolling right, complete to Marco Battaglia. Another first down, Rutgers. Redshirt freshman.
He's terrific. I'll tell you, this kid has arrived, and you can see the frustration. Don Neal.
He's tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Wes Richardson.
Antoine Moore cannot give you all those moves. He's got to get up behind the ball, behind the line, and run.
I think you want to get out there and run, Bob.
No more shake and battle. Get up in the hole and run. That's the problem there. These teams defensively, West Virginia's too quick. You got to find the seam and turn it on. He's dancing and looking for openings. Know this now. Bailey has just replaced Antoine Moore.
On second and a little more than 10. A loss of 1 on that play. From the shotgun, Lucas. Throws set with as Lucas goes downfield and throws it out of bounds. Good coverage. Intended for Jim Garantano, and Leroy Axum was there.
Good coverage is right. Axum comes in as that extra defender, and he had good coverage on Garantano, and tough now for the receivers because they're looking back into the sun too. That could be a factor for him late in this ball game.
12th play of the drive. It's 5 minutes and 12 seconds old. 56 yards so far. They'll need 67 in this drive to pick up a first down. 3rd and 11.
Pressure now. Pressure right here.
Lucas on the straight drop. Flush from the pocket. Throws it out for Presley. It's tipped by Wes Richardson and incomplete.
Interesting call here for Doug Graber. Ball sitting on the 37-yard line. Does he go for it on 4th down? Does he kick the ball pretty far out to kick a field goal? So they've got to do something here.
And punter David Lippitz comes onto the field.
Would be key here to drive him deep, trying to put the ball hopefully inside the 10-yard line and say, hey, with 4:40 on the clock, we'll leave it up to our defense to try and win the game again. Great job. West Virginia, of course, came up with the big plays here to get the ball back and get a chance at winning it.
Here's Lippett. Here's handoff to John Jones, and it's a big gain for Jones. First down, a 13-yard gain for John Jones. Bob, let's go back to the punt by Lippett. They had a chance to down it inside the 5.
Absolutely. This is a key play for him. 23 there. If he makes the play, they start him out on the 2-yard line instead of the 20. Now they got the ball over the 30. That could be a very important play at the end of this game. Let's hope it isn't for Rutgers' sake. But that was a great kick by Lippett.
Mark Washington had a chance. Travis Broadbent wound up knocking it into the end zone. Here's Kelchner rolling right.
Going
Ups
deep.
once.
He's
Looking for
going
Jett. With Roberts on him. Incomplete. Thrown out of bounds. Good catch by the gentleman there on the sweater on the sidelines. But Kelchner was looking long for James Jett.
Pretty good coverage that time. Jay Bellamy and Marshall Roberts looking for Jett, and you got to in this situation. It's going to be Jett or number 5, Ed Hill, will be the key here. We've got 4:09 on the clock. He's got a long way to go, but he can eat out some good yardage and eventually try to go up top. But the defense for Rutgers, again, putting the pressure on, played an outstanding football game. As you look at Don Nealon, and he knows something big has to happen for him to win this football game.
Both teams needing a win to keep postseason hopes alive. The loser, it's all over today. John Jones through the line, out to the 40. And down to the 42-yard line, close to a first down. That's one of the officials was upended and lost his hat. The hat came out of the pile up like a loose ball. Now, what's the play here?
I don't think there's any play. They got to decide whether it's a first down or not. The official, the umpire, was the guy that got hit.
Here it is. Jones going through the line.
And that's Ron Klages, a veteran official here in the Big East. For many years has officiated games, taking the hit, but he seems to be okay.
Louis Beto made the tackle on John Jones. He got up. He wanted a piece of somebody.
Well, he's, you know, if you're going to be the umpire, wear a flak vest or something, and you can protect yourself.
First down.
Rough place to be.
So the Mountaineers, with 4 minutes left, keep their drive moving. Kelchner, who was the Pennsylvania Player of the Year at Berwick High School, in leading Berwick to a Class AAA state title. From the I formation. Kelchner back to pass, looking downfield. Jay Bellamy and Marshall Roberts had a better chance at it than James Jett did.
They were double teaming Jett, and they know they're not going to let him get deep. The key now is he's got to throw the football, and it's a question not only of coverage, of whether Rutgers can get pressure on him. That's the key here. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining, 3:39 on the clock for West Virginia.
What an arm by Kelchner. He threw that 65 yards in the air, but it's just a long incompletion. Second down, 10 to go from the I formation.
Coming after him.
Kelchner to Hill in the flat, incomplete. Marshall Roberts was there. Excuse me, that was Damian Gallimore. And Gallimore had a chance at it as he ran it down and out. But Marshall Roberts from Abington High School, Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. A senior playing in his last game at Rutgers Stadium.
And look at this Rutgers defense. They're being supported by their fans. They're on their feet here on the Rutgers side, and also all throughout the stadium, just cheering these guys on for the effort. And it has been a tremendous effort here, and it's 3rd and 10.
They'll send Jett to the right. Ed Hill, the top of the screen.
He's going to screen it out here to the flat.
It's complete to Freeman. Well, they stop him after a gain of 3 on 3rd down. Keith Price stayed home along with Malik Jackson. And now Don Nealon has a big call on 3rd and 8 as we've got a player shaken up on the play. Doug Atkins, who's been filling in at outside linebacker for Bob Sneathen.
And that stops the clock, unfortunately, with the injury. But what a play by Keith Price. 5'7", 170 pounds. They're going to swing the ball out here to number 29, Freeman, the fullback in the flat. They're going to try and get him on the corner. Here comes Keith, and watch the play by him and by number 10. Doug Atkins. 2 big plays by the Rutgers defense. It's 4th down and 7 for West Virginia. They're huddled on the sideline with Don Nealon, and they're going to try and come up with a play that at least gets them a 1st down and keeps possession.
Well, Doug Atkins took quite a shot.
It's just a question of, I think he's fine. He's got to come out of the game, but he's fine. What an effort.
Well, let's set the stage, Bob. As you say, 3:20 left here in the 4th quarter. Rutgers leading 13-9. Rutgers and West Virginia with 2 Mountaineers 13-9. Lucas pitches to Presley, and Bruce Presley turns it upfield. Has a tough time getting back to the line of scrimmage.
And now you're going to see West Virginia utilize their timeouts. They've got 2 remaining. They're going to take one of them right here. Stop the clock at 3:04. They're going to play with the clock in this situation. And with that, try to get Rutgers, hold Rutgers, and force them to punt, go after the punt, and then have one last shot at it. For Rutgers, it's important to hold on to the football and try to make a 1st down here. So the pressure's on both sides here, particularly on the offense. And this is where you really earn a living as an offensive coordinator, to come up with those kind of plays that maybe can get you the 1st down.
Don't forget our next play here on NJN. Our next game Sunday morning at 8:30 in the Ivy League for all the marbles. The Princeton Tigers and Dartmouth for the Ivy League championship. Of course, you talk about the Tigers, you talk about wide receiver Michael Lurch at 5'7", an explosive wide receiver. And not only can he return punts and kickoffs and make touchdown receptions, he can play a little defense too, Bob.
He's amazing. You know, the more you see of him, the more you realize that he's a great football player. And Steve Tashius, as you look on there, utilizes him perfectly. Here we go. West Virginia has 1 timeout remaining, 3:04 on the clock. 2nd down and 11 for Rutgers.
Triple receivers to the left. Walker, Garantano, and Brantley. Lucas rolling that way. Upfield, complete. Jim Garantano, who made the reception at the 30-yard line and stepped out of bounds before Mike Collins was there to make the play. Good gain on 1st down.
I tell you, this is a gutsy call and a great effort by Ray Lucas. As he sprints to his left, he's got pressure. You see number 55 coming up in his face. That's Boris Graham, the defensive end, but he delivers the ball with authority. And of course, Garantano, what else can you say about this senior receiver? Makes the catch, just keeping his feet in bounds, and then steps out. Now here's a crucial, and we talked about crucials all day, but in a game at 14-9, 13-9, they're all crucial.
Rutgers 2 of 13 on 3rd down conversions. Here it is, 3rd and 3 from the shotgun. Lucas back. In trouble. Incomplete. Mike Collins made the play. It was intended for Jim Garantano, and Garantano thought it might have been a little bit of interference there.
There was interference. The ball was thrown low, and Collins climbed over his back to get to the football. But in those situations, it's rare that you're going to get the call. Watch this here. Here's the play. Here's the delivery. Watch Garantano. Actually, as I look at the 2nd time, it's a pretty darn good call. Collins made a big play coming over his back.
And so now David Lippitz on to punt, and Rutgers calls timeout. So they've got 1 timeout left.
Bill Bailey called a timeout because he saw the alignment that West Virginia was giving him, and he wanted to make sure everybody's got the right blocking pattern. What a football game, Pat. 2:54 remaining. West Virginia with 1 timeout left, trailing by 4 points. They did what they had to do defensively. Now Rutgers has got to get this punt off, and they got to cling to a 4-point lead.
Oh, Doug Graber and his Scarlet Knights seeing it all come down to this game. 5-4 overall, 2-2 in the Big East. West Virginia at 4-3-2. Those 2 ties. Very interesting for Don Nealon, because you need 6 wins against 1AA opponents to qualify for postseason play.
Here's the key, Pat. The key is this guy right here, James Jett. Number 15 back is the lone safety, the punt returner here. 1, Rutgers got to get the ball off, and 2, they've got to contain him if he feels it. We know what he can do. And that's what has to happen for West Virginia to win. They've got to get 1 big play from somebody.
Lippitz
It blocked. Ball on it.
And it's down at the 15-yard line. West Virginia's James McIntosh, number 22. He nearly blocked one earlier. Excuse me, that's Harold Kidd, who also wears 22. And Kidd had a chance at one earlier today. He made the big play with 2:47 left.
We talked about big plays, and they came from the right side, the left side here. Watch closest to the screen, and here comes 27 clean to get the kickoff.
And Kidd made the play, a junior from Okeechobee, Florida. And now the Rutgers defense comes onto the field with their backs to the wall. The ball on their own 15-yard line. Leading by 4 points, 2:47 left. From the I formation, Kelchner, hands off, stopped at the line of scrimmage is Jim Freeman as Andy Beckett made the play.
Tried to hit that fullback, figuring they're going to throw the football. They had everybody stretched across the field. They tried to slip it to the fullback inside, but Beckett did not bite on it, made a big hit. And again, when you look up, he actually lost some yardage on it, so it's second down and about 11.
There's the man of the moment, Harold Kidd. Clock continues to move, 2nd and 11. Kelchner pitching to John Jones on the left side, and Jones gets out of bounds back at the line of scrimmage. Jay Bellamy came up to make the play. But Bob, bear in mind, West Virginia has to get into the end zone. They're down by 4. A field goal isn't going to help them with 2:08 left.
Of course not, but they were looking that time to try and cross up and maybe get on the corner with Jones to get inside the 10-yard line. It didn't work. It's 3rd and 10. They did stop the clock, but they got to put the ball up here. The key is the secondary, the coverage. Again, into the game comes Sean Smith, the extra defensive back, along with Malik Jackson and Jay Bellamy and Keith Price and Marshall Roberts.
Jet and Hill to the right. Kelchner from the pocket delivers, looking for Jet, out of bounds, incomplete. And Sean Williams and George Stewart were in Kelchner's space on the play.
What a great job of putting pressure on, but more importantly, what great coverage on the part of Bellamy. Bellamy was right with Jet. Now the choice is, do you go for the end zone to try and get a touchdown, or do you try and get a first down? This is it, 4th and 10.
Don Nellen at 1 and 2 on 4th down conversions today. Doug Graber looking on. They're on their feet at Rutgers Stadium. Jet and Hill split to the right. Parisi to the left. Kelchner throws the screen for John Jones, who stumbles and is brought down by Marshall Roberts. Rutgers will take over on downs.
What an effort. What a great defensive effort. Nullifying a team that came in with so much offense today. Rutgers defense has stopped them at every turn. And now, with 1:55 remaining, leading by 4 points, West Virginia has 1 timeout. All they really have to do is kill the football. Force them to take that timeout and kill the football. That's all they have to do.
1:55 left. And Lucas pitching to Presley. Presley
Check the ball.
gets out to the line of scrimmage. And West Virginia calls its final timeout with 1:48 left.
Here we see Doug Graber talking to his quarterback, and what a day this young man has had.
They won't even start it here a little bit off.
Well, Rutgers leading by 4. West Virginia has won the last 7 straight against the Scarlet Knights, defeating Doug Graber's staff the last 2 years, 28-3. The last Rutgers win came at Giant Stadium under then Rutgers head coach Doug Graber in 1984. Rutgers has won 2 games in the 19-game history of this series. One in 1921, the other in '84.
Okay, here we go. You know that West Virginia is going to go after that football. They're going to be tackling the football. They've got to protect it.
Don Nealon. Both coaches came in saying it's do or die time. Needing a win.
We've got to believe West Virginia is going to be think and run here, get everybody up on this line of scrimmage, although Rutgers continues to run out of the one-back offense, which spreads the field and forces them to cover those guys. Here's a big play.
Presley with plenty of room gets across the 20 to the 21-yard line. A block by T.K. Dorsey. So there's the senior leading the freshman.
And now it's so important for Ray Lucas to utilize the clock and take it right down if he can to the bitter end before he snaps the ball.
Sean Williams, who made a couple of huge plays for the Rutgers defense, forcing 2 turnovers. Now 3rd and 3. Dorsey and Presley, the running backs. Handed off. Who else? Bruce Presley. And Presley, first down, Rutgers. Put it in the book with 1 minute left.
Put it in the book and give credit to this Rutgers offensive line that's created enough of a hole, enough of a seam for their backs to run effectively today. And just like that, give Presley, who's had a great day, a chance to get the first down. What an upset. What a great win for Rutgers and their football program in coming back. And Pat, I don't know about you, but I feel that this win is more important than any one they've had this year because they've had to come back after a tough loss to Cincinnati and beat a very good West Virginia team.
Clock moving. 40 seconds left. Rutgers will go down to 1 knee. And what an upset for the Scarlet Knights. The last time we were here, it was a 50-49 last-second victory over Virginia Tech. And now the Scarlet Knights pull off the upset of the year. They're carrying Doug Graber off the field at the 25-yard line. He's up on the shoulders of his players. Ray Lucas, the redshirt freshman. And it's all over. Rutgers is upset West Virginia 13-9. Doug Graber is now 10-0 at Rutgers Stadium. It's our house. That's the theme of the players. You see their t-shirts they had on. And what a moment for the Scarlet Knights. Well, joining us in the booth now is a gentleman from the Independence Bowl, Tony Sardisco. And Tony, tell me a little bit about your feelings about the game you've just seen and what's on the mind of the Independence Bowl folks.
Well, this is a tremendous win for Rutgers, no doubt about it. They look very impressive out here in this ball game. We're here looking at, like I say, the team earlier that Rutgers now winning this ball game gives them a 6-4 record. And we're looking for a 7-4 team or possibly an 8-3 team. It does help Rutgers, no doubt about it. They're a very, very impressive football team.
As you came in, you had to believe that the West Virginia Mountaineers held a huge advantage, but Rutgers rising up to beat them today, going to Temple next week. Is Rutgers a bowl team at 7-4?
Oh, yes, sir. Any team that comes in 7-4 is bowl expected, yes. We're looking at them same as any other one that is 7-4. Very exciting. Yes, they are bowl contenders.
And bowl contenders for the Independence Bowl,
yes,
do you feel?
Bowl contenders for the Independence Bowl.
Let me put you on the spot. If they were to go 7-4 next week and beat Temple, would they be a selection for the Independence Bowl?
But I couldn't say that because there are 9 of us on the selection committee. We're all out this week. There are 5 other scouts out. And we pool all of our thoughts and our comments in Monday at 12 o'clock for 2 hours, and we go from there.
Tony Sardisco, thank you for joining us, and thank you for your comments representing the Independence Bowl.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
What a moment here at Rutgers Stadium as the Scarlet Knights upset the West Virginia Mountaineers 13-9. The final home game for 19 Rutgers seniors. The theme, it's our house. And it was today. We'll be back with our post game here on NJN, the New Jersey